But if you want to watch the whole thing, so Corey calls me, goes, that's bullshit.
Bright House Networks presents the Premier Equipment Rentals pregame show.
Hi, everybody. What a game. You can already hear this crowd fired up. Two new teams for Bright House Networks. I'm Vance Palm, Brian Adams, Matt Alvarez. We're at Independence High School. Mira Monte's here. Mira Monte's all yours, Matt.
Mira Monte, they're led by their junior running back, Tim Harris, who's rushed for 658 yards, 7 touchdowns already on the season. Look for a big offensive night from Mira Monte. Let's hear what Coach Tony Varela has to say about Mira Monte.
You know, it's actually exciting because we actually get to the position where other schools are at already, you know, to have leadership. And since we've had these guys for the past 3 years, you know, it's starting to show the senior leadership that every team usually has. And that's one of the things that's exciting to very much, you know, get these guys going. You know, when Kern High School District opened up both Mira Monte and Independence, you know, they had to recruit kids basically from other schools, and you know they had allegiance to other schools in the beginning, but you know, slowly but surely the kids bought into our program, and I'm pretty sure Independence is in the same situation. They bought into their program and are excited and proud of where they're at now. Last year we had a breakout year with Tim Harris. He had roughly about 1,400 yards, only a sophomore at the time, and you know we're counting a lot on him. And of course, we have some other kids that came up from the JV level and the kids that played with us last year. And, you know, we're pretty excited to get these guys going. And the offensive line is basically a senior-dominated line. We're really relying on them, and hopefully it can be the high-potent offense that we've had it on paper. Defensively, that's been our strong point every year in, year out. You know, we have some aggressive guys, pretty strong guys up front. Aggressive in the secondary and so forth, and we're hoping that carries us through not only for the upcoming game but for the rest of the season. In any game, eliminating mistakes, of course no turnovers, and playing the best game you could possibly play without any mistakes. I mean, that's just the way it is, the kids know that this is very important to them. It's bragging rights, getting to carry the Griffin Bowl back home, and you know, it's just basically bragging rights.
Exciting night tonight, Brian. Tyler's on the football field. We'll get to more of that, but they need to focus on football tonight for Independence. Your thoughts?
Well, they got to stop Tim Harris. That's going to be the monster for Mira Monte. They want to get off. They're going to do it with their suffocating, aggressive, swarming defense. If they can do that, look for a tight game, Vance. Let's see what Coach McEwen has to say.
You got it.
It's great finally having some senior leadership out here. You know, it's been a process from day one trying to get this program up and running and teaching leadership skills, and the seniors have taken over, so it's nice to have. We're a spread option offense. We go 4 wide, try to get into some formations to utilize our speed and our athleticism. You know, we're a multiple front defense. We kind of change it up, try to blitz from different angles, give people different looks, and again, try to use our speed to our advantage. The keys for us defensively this week is, you know, obviously stop their run. They're a very good run team, and I think that's going to be the key for us. Offensively is keep the field spread and just play football.
Bright House Networks presents the Bright House Networks High School Football Game of the Week. Sponsored by Premier Equipment Rentals, Audio Visual Plus, KGET Friday Football Extra, Crab Radio 106.1 FM, and Fox Sports 9 a.m.
Once again, everybody, welcome to High School Football Game of the Week on Friday night. This is Bright House Network exclusive presentation at Independence High School. where Independence hosts Miramonte, two new schools, two new experiences for them to have their whole football game played in front of all of Kern County on Bright House Networks. I'm Vance Palm again, joined by Matt Alvarez, and down on the grass our captain Brian Adams. An out-of-bounds kick from Miramonte, and Independence will start on their own 35-yard line. First play of the evening for both teams out here on this warm, muggy, kind of windy, lightning night. Matt's been afraid of the weather all day. Started sending me texts about the storm and
the impending storm.
Oh my
that
gosh.
Was never to be.
You'd have thought that we had a typhoon coming our way, but instead we have a nice, beautiful breeze. And brings up a second fumble! Oh, a wild pitch to the backfield. Here comes Miramonte all over Independence. Shaky, shaky 2nd and 5 there, just underway. By the way, the quarterback for Independence High School is Tyler Adkins. And he gets behind center right now. What do you have for me, Matt?
I think the quarterback is Jose De Leon.
Jose
if
De Leon,
I'm not mistaken. I believe that Drew Schilabel is wearing his brother's number 8 in the backfield.
De Leon looks down the field, throws a long bomb, and this man is wide open, and he's brought down to the 18-yard line. And it's caught out there by Kenny Ray Saunders. A 60-yard, beautiful spiral, long bomb, first down, Independence. Woo!
Well, they had to make a big play here on 3rd down. You see De Leon dropping back, and that is a picture-perfect pass right over the defense of Miramonte, and a first down inside the 20-yard line.
Oh, boy, 1st and 10 from the Miramonte 15-yard line, and they thought they drew off number 44, Miguel Ortega. We'll see if he's drawn off sides or if it was encroachment. And it is against Miramonte, so now it'll be 1st and 5 from about the 10-yard line. We're just underway, and the third play from the line of scrimmage is a long bomb, 60-yard pass right on the money. Man, that was a beautiful, beautiful play. And here's 1st and 5. De Leon hands the ball off, and it's right up the middle. Touchdown, Louis Bennett. And that didn't take long.
Oh, that didn't take long at all, Vance. As you could see, Miramonte, or check that, Independence just running the ball into the end zone relatively easily here, moving the ball against this Miramonte defense. 6 easy points up on the board there for the home team on homecoming.
Another homecoming, 2 Friday night homecomings in a row. To the delight of our Bright House production crew. They loved all the footage and all of the shots that they're able to grab from homecoming ceremonies. So in exactly 60 seconds, oh, the PAT is blocked, so it's going to be 6-0, but a nice play out there by Bryant Gaitan. Well, it took exactly 60 seconds to score, Matt. Right on the money.
Well, Guyton is their leading receiver at Miramonte, and you see he knows how to get his hands on the ball. There you see up in the air, making the nice block there. See some De Leon fans in the Independence crowd.
So we are just underway, 1 minute in, and it's already 6-0. A lot of storylines to talk about here. First of all, Matt, the biggest storyline of all is what we saw right in the middle of the football field before the game started.
Oh, what an ovation. Tyler Schilabel is here tonight. I talked to Coach McEwen before the game. He said he was only here on a one-day basis. He's going to head back down to Downey, California, where he's been continuing his rehabilitation for the injury that he suffered. He was one of the captains for Independence. He went out and took the coin toss, and he got a great ovation from both sides here, Vance. Just an awesome thing to be a part of, an awesome thing to see.
He is directly across from me right now. I mean, he is exactly right across from me at the 22-yard line. He is sitting, couldn't be more right across from me. So what a great, great moment tonight, very poignant moment. And they gave their captain, Tyler Schilabel, a touchdown in 60 seconds. Here comes the long boot of the law. And it is long and it is deep. And who's that left-footed boot?
That's going to be number 33. That's Juan Olivares, and he's got a leg that can definitely compete with, you remember, Vance Stockdale kicker, as you see Tyler Schilabel coming out in his wheelchair being helped by his brother, Drew. And what a moment. What a great moment to see him out on the field. And like I said, the ovation that he got was amazing, Vance.
Injured in an off-road vehicle accident on the beach. And it's just so exciting to see him out here Friday night homecoming at Independence High School. Brand new school. Well, here's Miramonte. They're going to give it their best effort now. The handoff to the right side, and it's going to be taken by Tim Harris. Let's go down to our captain, Brian Adams. Well, captain, first of all, let's talk about that long pass. Beautiful strike for that long gain for Independence.
Well, Vance, that's exactly right, Vance. You know, they got a third down long, got great distance between your receiver and the defensive backs. Perfectly thrown ball by DeLeon. Picked up the big play. One play later after penalty, running in for a touchdown. But now you're seeing Tim Harris come out and operate.
And he hit him in stride, Brian. He hit him in stride on that long pass. 2nd and 4. Here come the USC Trojans right up the middle of the football field. Dun, 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 dun. Brian, are you getting the heebie-jeebies with those uniforms?
Well, Vance, right now, Vance, you got to say they look just like the Trojans. And on that play, they were moving like the Trojans. They've been running the ball well lately.
Wow. 1st and 10. I mean, that was student body right up the middle. And the quarterback for the Miramonte squad is number 12, by the way, Paul Rios. Inside handoff, they give it to Leja, and Leja brought down at the 35-yard line.
That's a great defensive pursuit job by Braylon Lehander. As you see here on the replay, Lehander just reaching out and grabbing the back of the jersey of Ricky Lehia. And he stopped it behind the line of scrimmage, so it's going to be 2nd down and about 12-13 here, Vance.
So it's officially 2nd and 13. Here come the Lions. They hand the ball off to Harris. Harris looks to get to the outside. Ooh, loses his footing, but I think it's going to be enough for a 1st down. So the exciting legs of Tim Harris.
You see Harris going to the outside. He makes a couple great cuts there to make the defenders miss. But then, like you said, he loses his footing just right there. He could have taken it a couple more yards there, but nonetheless, he did get the 1st down here near midfield.
The ground was getting taller. every step he was taking, the ground was getting higher and higher. So a 1st and 10, they pick it up. So here comes Miramonte. They give it to Harris again. Harris cuts upfield.
Well, Harris is their workhorse. Like I said in pregame, he went 93 rushes so far this season, 658 yards and 7 touchdowns, going for an average of 164 yards a game. But don't count out the air attack of the Miramonte Lions either. 2-2 coming into this game. Paul Rios, their junior quarterback, 18 of 53, 316 yards on the season with 2 touchdowns through the air. But you're more than likely going to see Harris in this drive. It seems to be working.
2nd and 6. Rios, gets the ball to Harris, but he's swallowed up in the backfield. Big effort out there.
That was Rufus Brown on the defensive end for Independence, number 62 it looked like.
Now, who's wearing number 8?
I think that's Shalabel's brother. I think that's Drew Shalabel, who's usually number 22.
Very good. So Drew Shalabel, number 8. 3rd and 10. Rios, they stay on the ground, and they are not going to pick up the 1st down. So no pass plays attempted in this first drive for Miramonte. And at the middle of the football field, it brings up a 4th and about 5, or 4th and 4. Harris looks awfully good, but so does this Independent defense when they need to be. Nice tackle.
Well, let's see what the Independence defense throws at the Miramonte offense here. You know the ball's going to go to Harris, Vance, or at least that's your first inclination to believe so. Let's see if he goes outside or if he keeps it up the middle. Looks like they're stacking the line of scrimmage.
Harris in the backfield. They stay on the ground. They're going to try to get 4 tough yards, and they do. 1st down, Miramonte. So it is Tim Harris left, Tim Harris right. And impressive blocking up front. What a nice job by this offensive line.
Oh, he did get some great blocking, and that's what they have now is senior leaders at Miramonte, and a lot of their offensive linemen are seniors. Tim Harris, only a junior, however.
Ooh.
Nonetheless, he gets the 1st down for Miramonte to keep this drive alive.
Can you say junior? 7.5 remaining in this first quarter. We're underway at Independence High School. We're out in the middle of nowhere. A little bit of end-around business here. Michael Beavers. Beavers cuts upfield. He's still on his feet. 1st down, Miramonte. Captain Brian Adams. The Lions using a lot of different running plays, but overall they look nice on the ground.
Well, Vance, they're keeping really off balance right now. They're going inside, going outside, a little reverse right there. Just a great job so far by the offensive line of opening up holes for these guys to run through.
Well, that's a nice run by Beavers there, senior running back. First and 10 again. This time it's Harris. He gets a few. Tonight's production is under the direction of the senior director in our Bright House Network's crew, Bernard Johnson. And as always, Bernie on top of his game. Pleasure to have all the guys here tonight. Second and 7, Miramonte, 6.5 left in this first quarter. They go to the air for the first time, and they click it out to the right side. Oh, and it's the big fella. Are you kidding me? Look at this guy, Trayvon Trimble, and he rumbles.
He rumbles is right, Vance. He goes 6 foot, 221 pounds out there, split out wide as a receiver. You see a great pass from Rios.
Look at this. Wow.
Look at him rumble.
The Trimble rumble.
And they got a first down and goal, Vance, at the 7-yard line. So Miramonte doing everything they can to answer the early touchdown from the home Independence Falcons.
We're going to have a timeout here, and that'll give us an opportunity to talk about this interesting new award, this new rivalry that's already burgeoning with these new teams. Take a look at this.
Well, you know, it's as funny as it sounds, but the griffin is basically a mixture of a lion and a bird, or an eagle, or in this case a falcon. and that's how it basically got started up. You know, being that we both opened up, Independence and ourselves opened up in the same year, it became like an instant rivalry. The kids, you know, get excited whenever they hear that they're going to be playing Independence, or even hear of the Falcons or whatever, it just becomes an automatic thing where they have to beat them. I mean, and I'm pretty sure it's the same thing over there with them. But you know, the kids are excited. They're enthused about the situation, and hopefully things work out this weekend.
And you know, I talked to Coach Varela about that before the game, and he only reiterated that comment that when the Miramonte kids get pumped up to play Independence, because they know that they are the youngest two schools in this area. And you know, last year they went 1-1 against each other. They played each other twice.
Well, they're both 2-2 coming into tonight. They'd love to go into league next week, 3-2. 3 backs behind the quarterback, and they try to punch it in from right there, and it looks awfully close. Ooh, my goodness. No touchdown given, but 3 running backs lined up behind Rios.
Well, that's a bit of a power formation there. You see Harris running behind the big men, and Harris able to get all the way down to the 1-yard line, and it's going to be a 3rd and goal for Miramonte.
Don't know exactly the description, the actual Pantone color of the Independent school, and that's going to be touchdown Miramonte.
Well, it's a simple quarterback sneak by Paul Rios, able to get in behind his big offensive line, and a touchdown up on the board. They could take the lead here pending this extra point.
That's an 80-yard drive, so 80 yards. They march down the field. They pick up a couple of really big first downs, one of them on a 4th and 4, and that was nice.
You know, they did it with a combination of both a small air attack, as you saw that pass out there to Trayvon Trimble, but mostly on the ground off the legs of Tim Harris.
Tyler Atkins up and through. Nice long kick, so it's Miramonte up 7-6. Do we want to go down to Captain Brian Adams? Is Brian ready down there?
Well, Vance, I'm down here with Jonathan Stewart and Kristen Holkett on my right, and we're talking tonight about Tyler's here. It's an emotional moment. I want them to talk about one of the great things that Atkins did on putting these shirts together. Jonathan, you start off.
Tyler Atkins made these shirts for Tyler Shahable, Shahable for life, Superman for life in the backs. They're $12. You can buy them at the front, or talk to Tyler and you can purchase them there too.
And Kristen, tell us about how you feel about the shirts.
You know, they're actually they came out really good. That's our second order of shirts. We designed them. and his brother actually came up with the idea of putting the T behind the S for Tyler. And yeah, we just hope to sell out again. So.
Well, when I came in tonight, fellas, I saw the table, and I just thought what a great idea to help the family and support Tyler. And like I said, they're selling for $12. So anybody who's going to watch the series, watch what we do on our telecast, the first 500 shirts that people contact Tyler Atkins and tell them that they watch Bright House and buy a shirt, I'm going to donate $1 for each of the first 500 shirts sold off the telecast. So let's help get this money for Tyler and his family, $12 a shirt. And when we get to 500, I'll donate an extra $500.
Brian, thank you very much for that. It means a lot to our community, and that was a great piece down there, a great story. And Brian now will match the first $500 purchased. So he wants to sell 500 of these shirts, $12. Get a hold of Tyler Atkins, get a hold of the school, tell him you watched it on Bright House Networks and that you want to buy one of those Superman T-shirts with a T right in the middle for Tyler. Great story, Brian. Thank you. And I think Brian's getting ready to buy his first one right now on camera.
Hey, Vance, we have one more thing, Vance.
Go ahead, Brian.
They also have bracelets you can buy, and hopefully Carlos can get a good picture of that. Kristen, thank you.
Thank you.
Jonathan, thank you. Thank you.
Very nice. Thank you to both of those students. Thank you to Brian. And on a 1st and 10, Independence will try to match the support and strength and the show of love for Tyler with another great drive as Tyler is down on the football field. He's at the 22-yard line. It's just directly across from me. I'm able to just look right at him across the field, and he's getting a great view. 2nd and 7, 4:40 left here in this first quarter. They go to the air. DeLeon kicks it out to the right side. They've been very successful, 2 pass plays already.
And Jermaine Irvin came up with that ball for Independence. You see just a quick little screen pass out there to the right side as he had 2 blockers in front of him. Irvin caught it in the flat, and then he did the rest of the work with his legs. You see him trying to make a cut, but he's cut down shy of the first down mark. It's going to be 2nd and 7 here. And it looks like they're going to mark it off a flag.
Didn't see the flag until the very end right there.
And that was thrown by head referee Bill Solon.
Second quarter, we'll have Matt give you the names of our Kern County Officials Association. We've had great officiating this season. It's great every game, every year, but we've called some big games already, and they've just done a stellar job. 4:20 remaining here in this first quarter. We're out at Independence High School. Nice little pitch out to the left side, and here comes Atkins. Atkins takes a big hit, but he stays on his feet. A lot of contact at midfield, about the 47-yard line. Ooh, man. Hear those helmets popping up here and pads popping up here. Watch this, Kern County.
You see that's a quick pitch, and Atkins lowers the shoulder. Boom!
Wow.
You know, I don't know if that was that Atkins or was that Shalabel.
Number 9.
Well, either way, one of the Miramonte defenders is going to be feeling that in the morning, that's for sure.
Antonio Parra. So Parra got in the middle of it. Now they go up the middle. They hand the ball off to Louis Bennett.
And Bennett got their first touchdown of the evening for the Falcons, and they trust him again with the ball, and he gets a first down. So Independence on the move once again. That big I in the middle of the field. It spans the 50 to the 45-yard line on each side.
3.5 left in this first quarter. This game's swimming along nicely. Everybody split out to both sides. Look, they want to go to the air, and they do. They flick it out to the right side. Nice catch out there by Irvin. Irvin still on his feet, picks up a first down, gets to the 34-yard line of Miramonte. So Jermaine Irvin with the catch.
Well, you know what I like what Irvin does here is that he cuts back to the inside. He catches the pass headed towards the sidelines. You watch here the pass by De Leon, and Irvin cuts back to the inside to evade the defender. So that's a good bit of running there by the Independence receiver.
Oh, bad snap. De Leon picks it up and gets hammered at the 41-yard line. Ooh, boy.
Well, that went nowhere south for Independence, and De Leon had a bad snap and went right through his legs. Unfortunately for Independence, or unfortunately for Miramonte, De Leon was able to get control of the ball again, but it's still going to be 2nd and 15 here.
It looks like Washington State versus USC. It looks like a nice Pac-10 uniform matchup here. 2nd and 15. DeLeon, fumble! And that's going to be Miramonte. Big hit, big strip, ball bounced around for 5 or 6 yards, and it ends up in Miramonte's hands.
Well, you see Shalabel dropping the ball there, and it bounces around a while. And who has the winning lottery ticket, Vance? Looks like it's number 7. Looks like Tim Harris. Or is it number 4?
No,
Michael Beavers.
Michael Beavers.
I don't see him on our program here, but number 5 popped out of the huddle
You're
with
right.
the ball and gave it to the official early while they're still on the ground scrambling.
You're right. That's who I saw pop up, but I didn't see a number 5, and I'm thinking, well, here we go again. Somebody from the family of number 5 is going to be upset with us unless Matt Alvarez can scoop it up.
I think it's Anthony Rios. I think that's who came up with the ball for Miramonte.
Anthony Rios. Delayed handoff, end around, and it's given to Ricky Leja.
In relation to Paul Rios, the Miramonte quarterback. You know, Rios was the starting quarterback last season. You see our AV Plus instant replay.
Look at these shoes, man.
And Leja with the another pair of fluorescent
Hey,
cleats.
if I'm a running back, I'm going to try to wear the most nondescript camouflage shoes that blend in with the grass. These guys have these fluorescent heels on, just makes them easier to locate. I don't know if it makes them easier to catch, but
Hey, if they work for him, if he picks up yards on the ground, as you see.
To
Paul
be
Rios
determined,
under
I
center.
guess. To be determined. Not this guy. We know all about Harris at the 40, at the 50, at the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Tim Harris, and one of the county's leading rushers adds to it again. He came in tonight, number 4 in the county.
Well, you see how dangerous of a weapon he is, Vance.
He's second in yardage. He's second in yardage behind Cheatham, but yards per carry, he's 4th. But now that might add to the difference.
Well, you see it's yards after first contact, able to break that first tackle, and once he does, he is gone.
Well, he's just made himself the leader in touchdowns with his 8th touchdown. And that right there is going to, I don't know what's happening with Cheatham yet tonight against East High School, the Wasco running back, but that's a big run right there for Tim Harris. Wow, Miramonte is stoked right now. 14-6. Well, Captain, that's is that Brown or is that Sykes? Who is that out there? Another great running back.
Well, you know, he must have watched last Saturday night's game and said he wants to get on the action too.
Man.
Tim Harris just took off out the middle of that pack. There was no way they were going to catch him. But the thing about him is he's so elusive in the hole. He's a very quick left to right kind of guy. Then he can accelerate. So he has both quickness, the lateral quickness, and the full straight ahead speed. And once he breaks out, there's nobody catching him.
That's like Matt said. He made a little contact here and there. Nobody wrapped the arms, and he was gone. 14-6. Miramonte. So coming out here on the road, they're going for the Griffin Award, making their name known out here. Independence High School, by the way, is out on Old River, just south of Panama Lane, in between Panama Lane and Panama Road. This is, man, we used to ride a lot of motorcycles out here back in the old days. We used to harvest some corn out here, I think, back in the old days, and just shows how much this community is growing, Matt.
Yeah, it does. And, you know, when I was here, there was no Independence. There was no Miramonte when I was, graduating high school in 05.
Way back in 05.
Yeah.
Right. Just shows you how fast it's been.
Exactly. This community has grown a lot.
Short kick. Independence going to get on the 24-yard line. That's some nice blocking. Can he get outside? We'll see. Gets brought down at about the 35-yard line. Not a bad run out there by Jermaine Irvin.
You know, twice Miramonte has done that pooch kick, and twice they have kicked it out of bounds. But on the third time, it looked like it was going to be a charm for Irvin. Unfortunately, he ran into a wall of Miramonte defenders. Still, nonetheless, they get the ball in relatively good field position at the 33-yard line.
Possibly our fastest first quarter ever. 1:31 left here in this first quarter. 1st and 10, Independence High School. The quarterback is Jose De Leon. He's in the shotgun. 3 receivers out to the left, 1 running back behind him. He throws one across the middle and overthrows his intended receiver, Preston Hodges. And a little bit of difference there. Let's hear about one of your old assistant coaches talking about the Griffin.
It's an outstanding thing for these kids. You know, the mutual respect that we have for each school, you know, us both knowing what's like starting from ground zero. The admiration we have for both programs is great. It's a great game every year, and it's a hard-fought game knowing that cup's on the line.
Well, you see Coach McEwen talking about how important it is for both Independence. And like I said, I talked to Coach Varela before the game, and he just reiterated the fact that, yeah, it is a huge game for both of these teams.
Varela was one of your coaches.
Varela was one of my assistant coaches when I was going to Foothill, and also an assistant coach for Miramonte right now. Mike Gutierrez was my holder for 3 years at Foothill High School.
Wow, excellent.
A little bit of a connection to Miramonte. It's right in the same area as Foothill.
Very good. On a 3rd and 10, throw it out to the left side, see what they can get out of it. Nice job by Miramonte. And they drive him out of bounds with 45 seconds left in this first quarter. Miramonte out on Fairfax.
Well, good defense here by Miramonte as they limit Preston Hodges maybe to a couple yards on this pass play. Way to rally around the ball there. You see Ricky Lahia making the play, and they are going to force Independence to punt here.
So the first punt of the evening, and Bryant Guyton, I want to say Guyton, but it's Guyton. He's standing back at his own 35-yard line. The punt is going to be low, and it might give him a chance to run it back if he gets a good bounce. And oh my goodness, he decided to pick it up, and ooh, boy.
Now that's dangerous.
Oh, man.
You know, as I mentioned earlier, Guyton's one of their he's one of their main offensive threats. He has 185 receiving yards on the season and 2 touchdowns. And when they do throw the ball through the air, he's got 46 yards a game of receiving. Usually comes from Paul Rios, the junior quarterback, like we said. Kids having fun here tonight.
Oh, man, that was a funny look right there. First and 10, Miramonte. They lead by 8, and we have about a half a minute left here in this first quarter. They go to Harris again. He's had a very, very good first quarter, and they run the clock down. Get about 4 yards on that play.
You see in our Audiovisual Plus instant replay, Tim Harris straight up the middle. Might have been the same play they ran for a touchdown the last time Harris touched the ball, but a little bit of a different result here as we're winding down this first quarter.
And I think that's going to be it for this first quarter. 14-6, Miramonte leads by 8. We're underway. Friday night high school football game of the week exclusively on Bright House Networks Bakersfield. Back in a moment with the second quarter.
Bakersfield's only sports station that's all sports all day, every day. Fox Sports Radio 970. With Dan Patrick in the morning and Jim Rome 9 to noon. Home for the world champion Los Angeles Lakers and NASCAR. And now the home for the Bakersfield Condors. No swap shop, no tradio, no cheap coupons. Sports. It's all we do. Fox Sports Radio 970.
Look at that. Miramonte Lions. Oh, as we start the second quarter, and it's a big, big play right there, Matt.
Now Drew Schlabel, he said wearing number 8, wearing his brother Tyler's jersey, who is in attendance at this game tonight. Boy, what a stick. What a stick on Tim Harris. That brings up a 3rd and 10 here for Miramonte.
Drew wants to make up for that fumble in that last possession, and now he's made up for it in one swift play right there. He shot the gap and had a nice ankle tackle. 2nd and 7. I'm Vance Palm, joined by Matt Alvarez up top. We're about to go down to Brian Adams right after this play. Oh, my goodness. And how apropos to go to a sure-handed receiver down on the grass in Captain Brian Adams. Brian, doesn't look like we'll see a lot of passing, but you never know.
You know, Vance, one thing that we're going to see tonight is both these teams trying to keep the ball on the ground. But when you know you don't get that many passes, you definitely want to make sure you catch them.
Right. And Matt talked about Guyton being one of their offensive threats, and he bobbled that punt return and had to dive on it, and then nice little, that would have been a first down with his talent. Nice, long, big spiral punt, but it's going to be, okay, fair caught at the last second. Man, that ball was almost in his hands before Irvin called a fair catch. Well, it's nice just to have Matt up here tonight with me. He was worried that we had some type of a hurricane or typhoon or some type of major storm coming our way. I got a text today about the stormy night and wasn't quite sure he wanted to get up in the scissor lift. And then, of course, our director, Bernie Johnson, gave the barking order for Matt and Brian to run down to me to start our pregame show. So Matt started to jog. Then he hears the blazing speed of one Brian Adams behind him. So those two sprint 70 yards down the sidelines. I thought young Matt was going to have to get a breathing machine down, an oxygen machine down here. Look at this. Oh, boy, Louis Bennett. Nice run right there, Matt.
Well, you see here on our AV Plus instant replay, just the handoff, and then Bennett cuts to the outside right there. Or check that, right there, he cuts to the outside. I was waiting for him to cut. Finally made his cut, but you know what? He was extremely fast on that play and able to pick up a good first down right at midfield for Independence.
Louis, I left my defenders in San Francisco. Bennett, that was beautiful. 1st and 10, right at the 50. Fumble! Oh, bad exchange out there with Irvin. Made one fake, and then they went to Irvin. That didn't work, and ooh, boy.
Well, the AV Plus instant replay here, you see it. Yep, just a bad exchange. The ball drops, and De Leon able to hop back on it before Miramonte recovered their 2nd fumble of the night.
Now it's 2nd and 15. Doggone it. They get the 50-yard line on the 1st and 10, and you back it up now. Shotgun. Right across the middle. Beautiful pass. Great blocking downfield. Might have another TD here. Irvin looks to get in. Touchdown, Independence. That was a great route. A perfect pass. Some late downfield blocking to spring him. TD, Falcons.
Well, what a pass right here by De Leon makes up for that bad exchange. Just right over the middle, he finds his receiver, Irvin, and then you said the downfield blocking by Montel Hill was what sprung him. It was Anthony Rios trying to grab him right before the goal line, but unfortunately couldn't do so for Miramonte.
So De Leon to Irvin. It's a nice final block by Hill. And now we have Juan Oliveras. And Oliveras has a 2nd blocked PAT by the same man. Guyton gets in again. So, Brian, what a great pass play this was.
Yeah, Vance, Irvin does a great job just catching that ball and hitting the sideline and turning on the afterburners. And his dad was been on Bright House too when he played at Foothill. So first time I'm getting to see father-son. But you talk about the block. Our MVP might be Guyton if this game comes down to a 2-point or 3-point game, as he's blocked 2 PATs already.
We see the touchdown replay right here. Nice protection, and what a bullet right on the money. Hit him right in stride. Never had to stop, never had to slow down. And, boy, what a gift that is for a receiver when they can just catch it and just keep on going. Nice effort at the end, as you see there. But TD, Falcons, and Brian makes an interesting point. Can you imagine if this game gets down to a 2-point ball game and it's 2 PATs that are blocked as a kicker? You must be chagrined at the thought of that.
Well, unfortunately, the offensive line there on the field goal team, they need to shallow up real quick because Guyton has been able to get in there relatively easily on both extra point attempts. So you know, if it comes down to it, you never know. It just may.
Just underway in the second quarter, high school football game of the week on Bright House Networks, and here comes the strong left foot of Juan Oliveras, not the former mayor of Arvin, by the way. Boom. Oh, and a big hit at center field. Always keep thine head on a swivel, as they say in special teams. You never know where that hit's going to come from. It'll be 1st and 10, Mira Monte. When you were sprinting down the sidelines,
I beat him, Vance. That's all there is to it.
And you could hear the wind coming up behind you. What were your thoughts?
What did he say, Vance?
You heard him, Cap. He said he beat you.
Hell, I gave him 20-yard cushion. He only finished with 5.
That's pretty good for a kicker, though, you have to admit.
Look at this. Are you kidding me? Oh, if Harris gets out, he's gone. But there's a flag on the play, and it's in the backfield, Matt. What do you think?
Now that's in the area where they would normally call a holding, so we'll see as the head umpire, Bill Sullen, looks up to the press box. And it is going to be a holding on Miramonte.
Matt, who do you have for our announcers tonight?
Or for our referees, I have, it says announcers on the card, but for our referees, our announcers are Vance Palm, I'm Matt Alvarez. Down on the field we have Brian Adams. But for our replay, boy, we're all off.
All right, I tell you what. Let's back it up. Well, Matt, good evening. Who do you have for our Kern County officials?
Our Kern County officials, the head referee is Bill Solon, the umpire George Keek, the line judge Glenn Myers, the head linesman Kevin Sullivan, the back judge David Newby, and in the box is Tom Dunham, all members of the Kern County Officials Association.
A big hit right upon release, and it's picked off and intercepted out there by Hodges. Hodges going to get in the end zone. That is a touchdown, interception, touchdown for Hodges and Independence. A flag at the end of it.
Well, the touchdown's going to stand, Vance. That looks like it's going to be a dead ball foul, probably an unnecessary celebration, but what a play and what awareness by Preston Hodges to go up and get that ball as soon as you saw it come out of the hands.
Well, Rios, the quarterback for Miramonte, was hammered.
Right. So as soon as it left his hands, and we'll wait for the call here before we see a replay, but
it was after the touchdown was scored, so it has to be something along the lines of a misconduct penalty. 18-14 is the score, and here's the instant replay right here. Audiovisual Plus, look at it. Pow! Big hit on Rios, and there it is. Just a duck floating out there for a moment. Hodges had nobody around him, said thank you very much, touchdown.
It looked like Kenneth Wiley was the one who put the big hit on Paul Rios, the Miramonte quarterback, but see the touchdown's good, but it's going to be a dead ball, personal foul against Miramonte.
Oh boy.
So it looks like they're going to move that up on the kickoff, and you're going to see Olivares put this one through the uprights, Vance, on the kickoff in the upcoming play.
Olivares might hit the scoreboard here if it's not blocked. That's the question now. Will it be blocked by Guyton? There comes Guyton, comes in late in the right of your screen. Nope, it's not. This is up, and it's long, and it's good. And so it's a funky football score as far as 19-14. 5-point lead for Independence. And we've got about 10 minutes left here in this first half.
Well, with that personal foul call, you see the referees back in the end zone discussing what's going to happen. I believe the ball's going to be placed at the 45-yard line of Miramonte, so let's – you know, if Olivares can put him in the end zone on a kickoff from his own 40, like you said, Vance, he might hit the scoreboard on this one from the 45, but let's see what they do with the ball here.
10:09 left in this first half. I want to thank all of our sponsors. Premier Equipment Rental. Are you kidding me? How could we get these great angles without Premier Equipment Rental? It's a great shot right there, one of our scissor lift angles that you're looking at. And, of course, Audio Visual Plus Replay. Thank you to Audio Visual Plus. Appreciate Premier and Audio Visual Plus. And how about our new media sponsors that we are so excited to have with us? First and foremost, who do you have for me, fellas? Well, let's start with Crab Radio and KHTY Fox Sports Radio 970. Been listening to Fox Radio Sports all day long. And then, of course, KGET Friday Football Extra. So there is your lineup of the advertising partners that believe in high school football, shown in its exclusive entirety on Bright House Network's Bakersfield. Last Saturday night, the Holy Bowl. By the way, now that we're past it, I can tell you that we all knew it was Holy Bowl 45. but someone for the Fresno TV station wanted to make sure they realized, hey, we blew it. We said 44. Oh, and it hits the upright. Man, oh man, that was a line drive knuckleballer that was going right at the, watch this. That thing is just booming.
That certainly is humming. Bink. Oh, hit
Ready?
the other upright.
Pow.
Right there. Got me on the angle.
Man.
The great angle that we get from our cameraman down there.
You can see the flag, the American flag, our United States flag blowing in the wind, and it's not a bad breeze whatsoever. It's picking up pretty good. Warm breeze tonight.
Well, Miramonte decided to go to the air on that last play, and it got intercepted. Let's look for them to keep it on the ground here.
Well, it's going to be Rios on a keeper, a flag on the plays. So we've had flags on 3 of the last 5 plays.
Well, nothing went right for the Lions on that play. As you see, it looked like a busted play to begin with, and then you tack on the holding. It's like salt in the wound. It was a chop block.
Brian, last Saturday night, the Holy Bowl, Garces Memorial High School, San Joaquin Memorial High School, we saw a slugfest between 2 great teams and 2 premier running backs in the Valley. What about last Saturday night?
Well, Vince, I just think that was one of the games of the year so far, but also, like I said, that night, in the 13 years I've been doing, that's one of the better games I've seen. You know, Bernie, yourself, and Zach, we've been doing this for quite a while, and I'm telling you, that performance we've never had where 2 players have breakout games, and then you add the general, the way he was powering through for the touchdowns and putting up those scores. Just a great night of football.
Another flag right at the snap. I mean, this ball was snapped and that flag went up, so you wonder if someone was offsides from the very beginning, or that's only our guess. So we went from I knew it. Why did I jinx this? Why did I do it? I said we had a super fast first quarter.
And you saw me knock on wood, Vance.
I know.
One of the main rules of the press box / press area / scissor lift. Never talk about the speed of the game.
You'd think I would know my lesson. Tim Wheeler, the sports information director / scorer for the Bakersfield Blaze, almost kicked me out of the Blaze clubhouse one night. I walked in this summer when we were doing Blaze magazine and said, wow, that's one of the fastest games we've ever had.
And I bet he glared at you for about 10 minutes.
Bro, we were in like the 6th inning in like 45 minutes. They went 13 innings, and he was ready to kick me out and never allow me in again. So I'm not saying, you know what, this game is really dragging on. Maybe it'll go reverse psychology. All right, here we go. 9.5 left, second quarter. 3rd and 11. They give it to Harris. Harris with the stiff arm. He's being heavily pursued. If he can cut upfield, he'll get a first down, but not enough room. Runs out of real estate. Nice job by Independence defense.
Well, like you said, Vance, great job by the Independence defense. You see here on the audio video plus instant replay. A good stiff arm there, but he's not able to turn that corner. Great pursuit. You see head coach Tony Varela there getting out of the way. And it's going to be a 4th down for Miramonte, but with their punter Elvis Sanchez coming out on the field, who had a pretty good punt last time.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yes, I've been working on those punts a long time. Thank you very much. Thank you. Standing at their own 45-yard line, Irvin and Hodges. And it takes a high, crazy bounce, a football bounce, and it ends up at about the 44-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10, Independence High School. Here's some of the games taking place around the county tonight. What a football game. Stockdale 2-1 at Garces 2-1. You know, everybody talks about Stockdale having his rebuilding year, Brian, a rebuilding year from Stockdale. I never believe that rebuilding stuff. They're going against a very good Garces team. Your thoughts, Stockdale at Garces?
Well, you know, Vance, you talk about that rebuilding year, and so far, Stockdale's playing real well. Offensively and defensively, their rushing game is going good. And Garces, Vance, had rolled until that game last night and could have won that game on Saturday. I'm giving Garces the edge on the Stockdale game. 1st and 10,
Independence at their own 44-yard line. A lot of activity on that line. They're going to go to the air. Drop back. He has a man wide open. Does he catch it? Ooh, just overthrows Hodges. They were looking for another nice long pass. Looked good, but DeLeon just a bit over the outstretched fingertips of Hodges.
You see they run the play fake to Shalabel, and DeLeon has plenty of time as he has great blocking up front. That's a pretty pass right there.
Sure
Unfortunately, just out of the reach of Hodges.
Wow.
Otherwise, that would have gone reservations for 6.
2nd and 10. Matt, after this play, I want your thoughts. BHS Drillers at Golden Valley. 2nd and 10. They went to the air last time. Looks like they might do it again. No. They stay on the ground. Shalhabel takes it up to about the 45-yard line, and that's going to be a first down. All right, Drillers at Golden Valley. We saw Golden Valley already last week.
We have seen Golden Valley, and they look like a very good team, but I don't think they're in the same league. I don't think they're at the same level of football as BHS is. I think BHS will run through Golden Valley and put their first blemish on their record this year.
Zach Ewing, the Californian, has it a 55-21 football game. Wow. 1st and 10, they got it. Little pitch out to the right side. A nice look out there for Louis Tony Bennett. Gets about 6. That's a nice long run. Bryan, West High School, the Vikings. Head coach Chad Greider goes against Frontier. Head coach Rich Cornford. Coach Cornford used to be at West, so some coaching ties there. West at Frontier.
You know, Vance, West has been up and down this year. They haven't quite put their finger on it to get going that right direction. And I just think Coach Cornford and his staff did such a great job keeping those guys disciplined. I'm going to go with Frontier.
Okay. Who is this call on?
That was an illegal motion call against Independence, so that's going to negate that run and bring it back 5 yards, Vance, but it's still going to be first down. You know what? Penalties have really plagued this game so far, Vance.
Well, certainly the second quarter after I said we were having a fast game. Oh, man. Blame it on the rain. Is it raining yet, Matt?
It's not raining, but there is lightning coming from the right by the grapevine.
There was. I was driving over here and saw prophetic lightning. Wow. Right at the 50, 1st and 15. Nice defensive effort out there by the Miramonte front 3 or front 4 out there. No gain. Kept him for no gain.
Looked like Justin Smith. Big Justin Smith, the 6'3", 307-pound senior on the defensive line was in there to get penetration.
Justin Smith, 6'3", 307. 2nd and 15. Didn't gain a yard. Oh, bad. Look out. Fumble. He picks it up and gets hit hard at the 45-yard line. He got 2 or 3 yards out of that, but took the punishment.
That's right, Vance. He was able to make something out of nothing there, De Leon. Unfortunately, you know, he's got to handle that ball, because if he does, obviously they're going to run the design play, and they may very well get more yards. But like you said, he was able to get something out of nothing. He gets back to the original line of scrimmage, 3rd down and 10 for Independence here with 7 3/4 left to go.
They've got a 5-point lead, 19-14. The home team is Independence in that, I would almost want to say, Merlot uniform, Merlot-colored uniform against the USC gold and Merlot. A flag before the play to get started. Are you kidding me? Oh, my gosh. Well, Brian, East High School tonight, 0-3, have an exciting offense. Austin Charles, that young quarterback, slinging it up there, but they're hosting the Cheatham Machine and Wasco. Wasco's coming up to East High.
I think this is a night, Vance, that East High gets into the winning column.
Ooh.
Well, you know,
well, I'll interject this. I talked to Corey Costello today, home turf, and you know they're covering that game tonight. And he said he talked to Coach Perucci today on the phone, and Coach Perucci said they're going to change their offense up a little bit. They're going to move some things around, kind of keep it out of the air a little bit more than they have been. So you never know. What's your thoughts?
Well, you saw how easy Stockdale was able to run the ball on East High, and when you have one of the county's best rushers in Cheatham, in Wasco, you know, we'll see how it goes.
A long pass play on a 3rd and 15, well defended out there. The ball was intended for Montel Hill, but didn't happen. Nice defense out there.
You see here, De Leon drops back again. He has plenty of time. His offensive line doing him a couple favors here, and a good pass. He's not hitting his receivers.
We saw Michael Beavers out there amongst others, and one thing he did do was keep it out of the hands of a defender, but that'll bring up a perfect area to punt the football in. He's standing about his own 37-yard line, and Shalhabo puts up a wobbly one. This thing could go anywhere. It could bounce anywhere, and it could be a perfect stop. And did they do it? No, it got into the end zone. Oh, man, that could have been stopped at the 1, but it trickles into the end zone. You're watching Bright House Network's high school football game of the week in its entirety, exclusively shown here on Bright House Networks. We bring it to you with the help of Premier Equipment Rentals, Audiovisual Plus, Crab Radio, Fox Sports Radio, and KGET Channel 17 Friday Night Extra with Todd Strain. 6:55 left here in the first half. It's going to be homecoming tonight at Independence. And for a school that hasn't been open a long time, homecoming is pretty special. You know, you get people that – this is their inaugural homecoming, first one ever. Thank you to our director, Bernard Johnson. Harris gets the handoff, looks to get to the outside. Oh, nice tackle out there. A great job by Kenny Ray Saunders. The stop would have been a long gain.
Well, Saunders, like you said, Vance makes a great open field tackle to limit Harris to about a yard. Max of 2 on the play, so it's going to bring up second and about 9 for Miramonte.
Six and a half and counting as Miramonte comes to the line. 2nd and 10. Uh-oh, they go the end around again, and they just run into trouble and lose some big yards. So obviously Independence able to key on that now. They can see that coming.
Boy, that play was a mess from the beginning. It looked like it might have been a missed assignment here, but you see they run a bit of a misdirection, and then they try to run the reverse.
Not a clean handoff either for Beavers.
That wasn't at all. Beavers unfortunately lost 5 yards on the play for Miramonte, so it's going to bring up a long 3rd down. And after going up and down the field, both teams in the first quarter, they've been at somewhat of a stalemate here, Vance.
Oh, it's a bootleg pass and intended out there for Harris, and doesn't happen, and they're going to have to punt this football. So not the best possession for the Miramonte Lions, as they're going to have to punt this ball to the Falcons. Independence with 5:39 left in this first half would love to get in the end zone here again before the half goes up. Brian, who are the Bruins playing tomorrow? I have no idea who UCLA is playing.
They're playing Washington State, man.
They're playing Washington State, the same uniforms as what we're looking at right here. Washington State. So a punt into the wind. It's a wobbly punt, and he backs away from it, and wisely so. And that sound you're hearing is the PA announcement, the PA system for Independence. I think they're probably getting ready for homecoming, and they're piercing a few eardrums. Woo, boy. Hey.
Could have lied and said it was the weather, Vance.
Well, we're all about the truth,
of course,
accuracy, and
that was the piercing raindrops in the South Valley.
It is first night of October, October 1st, and everybody's still in shorts and T-shirts. It's a balmy 89 degrees right now with the breeze. Feels like we're in Miami in September, October. 5.5 left here. They hand the ball off to the erstwhile strong running and nimble-footed, still on his feet. Made a ton of moves there, Louis Bennett. Bennett gets about 8 yards, and he was all over that place.
Well, Bennett, a lot of north-south running, but most of that run was lateral running, or at least towards the end of the play was east-west running. So, like you said, though, he's able to get some pretty good yardage on first down, bring up a more manageable 2nd down and a long 3 here for Independence.
Under 5 left in this first half. 2nd and 7. They get the ball and they flick it out to the right side. Saunders has it. Saunders gets hit hard at the end of the play, but he picks up a first down. So we saw that offensive line just kind of go down real quick, trap everybody, and they got the pass off.
Yeah, looks like we're going to have a timeout here as you see Coach Tony Varela out there speaking with the head referee. It's going to be a first down for Independence inside the Miramonte 25-yard line here, Vance.
So they stop the clock just long enough to move those chains. 4:42 left in this first half. Independence leads by 5, 19-14. We've had a nice scoring output here in this first half. They go out to the left side. They flick it out to the left side. This time it's going to be Hodges. And a flag on this play as well. So another penalty flag thrown out towards the end of this play as Hodges moves out to the left side.
See here on the Audio Visual Plus instant replay, just a quick pass. And making the catch was Hodges. And good defensive pursuit there by Miramonte, but I think this play is going to be all for none as it's going to be whistled back for a holding call on Independence.
I'm Vance Palm. I'm joined by Matt Alvarez up here on top of the Premier Equipment Rental scissor lifts. Our captain, Brian Adams, down on the grass tonight. Brian has made an announcement to all of our Bright House Networks viewers that he will match $1 for every T-shirt purchased that he advertised with those 2 students to raise funds to help the Shahabo family. And what a great, great move by our man Brian Adams. The handoff to his brother, Drew Shahabo.
That's the elder Shalabal, Drew the senior, Tyler only a junior. As we mentioned, Tyler is in attendance at the game tonight here on the south end of the field, the Independence sidelines at the 25-yard line. And Miramonte, or check that Independence in business on Miramonte's 25-yard line on the north end of the field, going with the breeze, Vance.
And that breeze is picking up some of the posters that they have on the back of the bleachers here, starting to fly around. The California flag and the American flag giving some wind here. And look out. Oh, and he tucks it in. Almost got the ball knocked out of him. A big hit out there by Oscar Linez. And he came in and put a big hit on DeLeon. Watch this. You'll see a perfect shot of it. And right at the very end, boom, pow. And that was good to get that ball in there.
Well, the Independence line has been doing a good job so far to give DeLeon time, but DeLeon has to know if he's that long in the pocket, he's got to get rid of the ball. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 19, Vance.
So a long play here with Bennett in the background and everybody else spread out looking for pass play. And look at this. DeLeon's going to stay on his feet, takes a couple of big hits, and will not pick up a first down, but possibly has it in perfect field goal territory, and that's what they're going to do. They're going to bring in Oliveras.
You see DeLeon here on the AV Plus history play, pumps once, and I think he probably made the right decision because he was going to throw it into traffic if it would have been, but it's going to bring up a 43 to 44-yard attempt here for Olivares.
For those of you that are watching for the first time, I want to inform you that Matt Alvarez, one of the big-time kickers in high school here at Foothill High School, long leg, and so he's enjoying watching these great kickers. And look at this. Olivares, the lefty, smacks it through. Ooh, boy, that was a beautiful, beautiful kick.
Well, all that confidence that Olivares didn't have in his O-line after those first 2 extra points were blocked. You see a good hold. Laces were towards the kicker, though, but nonetheless, Olivares, he didn't care. He booted it through the uprights.
If you're approaching that football and the lasers are staring at you, not much you can really do, right?
There's not much you could do at that point. You just got to kick the ball and hope it goes straight.
And after you make it, you go over and talk to your holder and say, hey, my man.
Absolutely.
Well, great form, and he just smacked that through. For you Raider fans out there, you're thinking, wow, that looked very Janikowski-esque except for last Sunday.
Except he made it.
2:21 left here in this first half, 22-14, an 8-point lead now for Independence. Brian Adams, our captain, down on the grass. Got Matt Alvarez up here with me, and we're enjoying a balmy, warm, breezy October 1st, 2010. We don't know exactly where we're headed next week. I don't know. Maybe the truck can tell me, but any of you cats know? No, we'll keep it a secret. We'll keep it a surprise. We'll keep it suspenseful. Now we have Olivares on his 40-yard line with a little bit of wind behind him. And this ball is into the end zone. Be 1st and 10 for the Miramonte Lions. Let's go down to our captain, Brian Adams. Brian, so far this season, we've seen, we thought it was going to be the year of the quarterback, and we start off with Cody Kessler, and we haven't, been to Burrell yet, but we thought it was going to be the year of the quarterback, all these great quarterbacks, but clearly it's been, from what we've seen already, the year of the running back / receiver, even last week with Golden Valley and Brown, and what we've seen with Sykes and what we're seeing tonight. It's been, so far, the year of the running back.
Well, Vance, I need to make one correction on you because you're going to have me paying about $20,000 in T-shirts. It's only up to the first 500 that I'm going to donate the $1. Now, you're going to match on the other 500 off of that, Vance. But anyway, to me, Vance, has been the year of the offense. Every time, it's for us, every week we go out, there's been some offensive player that's broken out, whether it's been a receiver, quarterbacks, or running backs. So it's definitely going to be an offensive skill season.
Let me clarify that. The first 500 shirts that are purchased, Brian's going to match up with $1 for each of the first 500. Sorry about that, big guy. The first 500 shirts, hey, still, it's a lot of money for Brian to commit to. Very, very nice. 2nd and 5 on this play. No flag. Matt thinks he saw a face mask.
Looked like Tim Harris did have his face mask grasped on the way down as Independence takes a timeout here with $1:45 left to go on the clock, and that PA system still acting a little weird here at Independence. Oh no, you know what he just grabbed? That was Rufus Brown. Just grabbed the collar of Tim Harris. From my vantage point, it looked like it could have been a face mask, but hey, that's why I'm not a referee.
Sounded like the nice ocean breeze blowing through here. Is that better, Matt?
There you go.
Is that more elemental? $1:45 left here in this first half. Tomorrow, big sports day around the world. Huge college football. The Ryder Cup will resume in the rainy, soggy golf course in Wales tomorrow night. Matt will be down in the grass. I'll be up in the booth for a whale of a junior college football game in the country, and it happens to be right here in Bakersfield. Your Renegades, number 2 in the state, will take on the number 1 team in the nation, Mount Sac. Tickets are absolutely on fire today, and they'll be open again tomorrow at 4:30. If you want to catch that Renegade game, it's going to be absolutely packed up there. 2nd and 5, Miramonte bowls up to the middle. Oh, my goodness. And the quarterback, Rios, almost broke through for a long touchdown run late in the second quarter.
Well, when Rios gets behind his offensive line, he's able to pick up a lot of yards. He did that in the first quarter, and he was able to pick up a first down. Here you see him almost break free of the grasp of Drew Schlabel, and he's able to get a big first down here. And $1:33 left to go as they call a timeout.
So they're obviously going to try to, well, Independence wants to, they call the timeout. They want another shot at a field goal possibly if they can hold them. I don't know. They want to at least try to give themselves a chance here. Brian, you think you're going to make that BC game tomorrow night?
Well, Vance, I got some things going on. I'm more likely not going to be able to make it tomorrow night, but I'm sure going to be looking forward to looking at the highlights on the news.
You better listen to me, my man.
Is it on AM radio, Vance?
What, you don't have an AM radio?
Not in my house, Vance. I have iPod and that kind of stuff.
Kernradio.com.
I guess I can do that.
Yeah, okay,
I
sure. Yeah,
there.
let me beg you. I'll just beg you to listen to me, Brian.
Well,
thanks. All right, you know what?
I can't even tell you the last time I've been on the radio.
Did I hear rumors that there were 10,000 tickets sold already?
Yeah, it's going to be upwards of 10,000. Look at this. They throw it up there, and it could be Guyton, and he makes a big catch at the 25-yard line. Nice, aware look back and presence to make that catch. Guyton, the ball was underthrown, and it was hanging up there for a while. Nice job.
Oh, you see on the AV Plus instant replay, just a beautiful pass thrown to the outside shoulder of Guyton, and he's able to make the catch. You know what? That begs the question, why would Independence call a timeout there? They give Miramonte more time.
And now we see Harris looking for some action. Harris still on his feet. Harris cuts to the corner. Touchdown, Miramonte. And that accentuates Matt's point. They had time to draw up a couple of plays right there. They ran right at you, Captain.
Well, Vance, I tell you, he gets in there and he stays so close to those linemen. And when he sees a hole, he just takes off. And they're going to be going for 2 right here.
Well, he's running right at Brian Adams right here, and it looks like one of his old counterparts at BHS. Looks like Jason Oliver right there running for a TD. That was nice. 22-20, and they're going to go for 2 here, Matt.
Well, they got to go for 2 here with 1:12 left to go in the second quarter. Just to try to tie the game up before halftime. They're going to have momentum regardless if they can hold Independence.
Well, it obviously looks like they're going to go to Harris. They do go to Harris. Fumble! But he picks it back up and scores, but he fumbles at the goal line. A double fumble touch, 2-point conversion.
Who had the winning lottery ticket there? Looked like it was number 22, Trayvon Trimble, who jumped on top of that ball as Harris fumbled into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. You see there the bad exchange between Rio and Harris. Harris picks it up right before he crossed the goal line and gets stripped again. And
bounces off his ankle.
You know, there's nothing but Miramonte players there, and it was Trimble. Although there was an Independence player there, but it was Trimble who jumped on the ball. And we have a tie ball game with 1:12 left to go in the first half.
22-22. What a nice football game. Last Saturday night, the Holy Bowl, it was not a matter of if someone was scoring again, it was when they're going to score again. They just kept going. We have a lot of that tonight. We're tied up at 22 with 1:12 left here in this first half. What a nice football game. We're at Independence High School. Mira Monte and Independence, two very young new schools celebrating a Friday night, their first Friday night on Bright House Networks football. Look at this. Man, that's a big kicker right there.
Speaking of Janikowski there, Vance.
Man, Alexis Fajardo kicks it up.
He's got something. He's got something.
Jermaine Irvin looking to get outside, looking to go all the way. Irvin still on his feet, makes a great move and goes out of bounds. Oh.
Well, maybe they should stick with that pooch kick, Vance. At least it didn't hurt him that bad as Irvin, you see here on the AV Plus Instant Replay, he gets a wall right off the bat. He knows exactly where he's going, following the blocks there of Kenny Ray Saunders, and then Irvin just cuts up the sidelines, makes Fajardo the kicker miss, and then he's off to the races until he gets tripped up right there by Felipe Loera.
Well, they actually called him out of bounds. They spotted him out of bounds at the 38-yard line. There's a great shot of Tyler Shalhobel right there. He's greeting his classmates and fans. Hey, Tyler, how you doing, big man? Pitch pass, back to the quarterback. Oh, my goodness. That didn't work, and he took a big hit.
And, it's going to be a pass interference play, it looks like, Vance, as De Leon went out for the pass, and he got held up by one of the Miramonte defenders. We'll see what the official call is, but as you see here on the AV Plus Instant Replay.
You'll have to look at the top left of your screen and the top right of your screen now, everybody. Let's see what happens. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. But that was uncatchable, though, Vance. Let's see if they still make the call, though, at least for holding. They call it pass interference.
Oh,
but
boy,
that ball was very uncatchable.
Great point, Matt. Uncatchable football, not even close.
It's not going to matter, though, once you grab them like that. Remember last week we were talking about that against Golden Valley North, when you bite on a pump fake.
Right.
Once you blow them up or you tackle them, then they're not going to worry about whether the ball is uncatchable.
Very good. Very good.
And that's one of the things that you were trying to teach your younger cornerbacks, right? If you know you're going to get burned on a route, then just make the tackle and give up the 15-yard pass interference penalty instead of giving up a touchdown.
Well, it changes the complexion of this drive. Oh, man, what a play. Cruz Quinones comes up there and lays a big hit on Shalhobel.
You see here the AV Plus Instant Replay, boom, right in the backfield. Quinones, the 6-foot, 190-pound senior.
Wow, that 190. Let's just call that an even two. Big old boy. Flag on the play. Nice pass play, and it's caught out there by Saunders. But there's a flag early in the play.
They're going to stop the clock here with 22 seconds left and discuss exactly what they saw in the Independence backfield. And let's see.
Well, here's our replay. We see it.
It's going to be a
nice catch. Kenny Ray Saunders puts the fingertips on that one and battling for the end zone. All for naught. It'll get moved back with 22.2. A lot of twos on that scoreboard. Look at that scoreboard. 22.2, 22 to 22, 2 timeouts, second down.
Second quarter. Deuces are wild, man.
Deuces
are wild.
Look at that. A lot of twos. Well,
now they started the clock again, and then Independence wisely using their last timeout of the half with 18.7 seconds left.
They probably boot it in the air, don't you think? Or they probably have. They've got one more timeout, don't they?
No, I think that was their last one, Vance. They had one coming into this this timeout.
Okay,
right
you're
now.
right.
But now they bring the timeout meter down to 0 on the Independence side. But if you're going to run a play, it's got to go out of bounds, wouldn't you think? And then, or if you do run a play, it's got to be a first down, and then you got to get up to the line, spike the ball.
Well, in these matters, I go down to the grass to our captain. What do you say, Cap? Just boot it through right now, or try for one?
Well, Vance, you got 18.7 seconds left, so you have a few things that you can do because it's a second down, as Matt said. You can work the short side of the field and work the sideline, go run a 5-yard, 10-yard out, and catch it on the sideline just to get some extra yards and stop the clock. Or you can throw the ball in the middle of the field like they did the last time. But what you don't want is your receiver to catch the ball and fight for yardage. Either you have a clear path to the end zone and you go, or you just drop down, you have the first down, and you can set back up, and like Matt said, you can do spike the ball. So they have a few options on this.
Great points, both of you. Thank you, fellas. Bennett behind DeLeon. DeLeon's going to drop back. They're going to go for the shot right here in the end zone, and it is, incomplete. Slipped through the hands, but I don't even think Saunders would have been in anyway. You never know. I shouldn't say that, but looked like he ran out of real estate anyway. But here's a good look at it on our audiovisual plus replay. Wow, DeLeon throws some nice footballs.
And you know, that's a ball that at least should be caught. Yeah, his right foot landed out of bounds, but if he can make that catch and drag that foot, they go into halftime with the lead here. But now it's 3rd down and 17. If you don't get the first down, you're going to have to throw something to the sidelines to at least give your kicker Olivares a chance. You can't get tackled inbounds on this play because there's nothing you could do on 4th down.
DeLeon going to get flushed out of the pocket. DeLeon hit. Is it a fumble? It is a fumble.
And there you go. That's the half. The one thing they couldn't let happen.
Well, and they did. So we're tied up at 22 at the end of this first half. We'll go to break watching this replay on Bright House Networks Bakersfield. Back in a moment with the 3rd quarter.
Got a job to do? Premier Equipment Rentals is your answer. Residential or industrial, we've got exactly what you need to get the job done. Whether it's a drill, trencher, bobcat, backhoe, or excavator, you can always count on Premier Equipment Rentals. And with our new extended hours, we're available when you need us. Check us out at 3217 Patton Way and 5001 Stein Road, or give us a call to find out more. Don't forget to ask about our weekend specials. Make your next project a breeze with Premier Equipment Rental.
Bakersfield's only sports station that's all sports, all day, every day. Fox Sports Radio 970. With Dan Patrick in the morning and Jim Rome 9 to noon. Home for the world champion Los Angeles Lakers and NASCAR. And now the home for the Bakersfield Condors. No swap shop, no tradio, no cheap coupons. Sports. It's all we do. Fox Sports Radio 970.
Get in the game. The Friday Night Blitz is on. Friday Football Extra.
And it's the complete football package on Sunday night after the NFL. FFX Sunday Night Edition. All the scores, all the highlights, all the stories from the gridiron.
Coverage of your favorite school, plus the FFX Game of the Week. Friday Football Extra.
FFX, the Sunday Night Edition, only on 17 News after Sunday Night Football.
Local football action. Get in the game.
Welcome back, everybody. 22-22 is what you're looking at there. We are tied up at the beginning of the 3rd quarter. I'm Vance Palm. We are joined, as always, by the Bright House Networks production crew all over the football field. We're up on top of a Premier Equipment rental scissor lift. And here's a look at one of our scores. Here's a Monte score. It's a Monte interception, Matt, and there is Hodges waiting for a touchdown.
Well, you see Hodges reservations for 6 after he makes this interception. And that put the Falcons ahead by a score of 22-14 late in the half. And there you see Independence quarterback Jose De Leon.
We are about to start off the 3rd quarter. We hear that in a few moments Brian Adams is going to try to get the star of the show tonight. And that'll be Tyler Shahabel, who is in a wheelchair, and he's watching his teammates play to a 22 tie here as we start the 3rd quarter. Hope that Brian can get that for us. And Miramonte will receive, and waiting to receive this is the dangerous Bryant Guyton. Let's see if they kick it to him. They do, but it's going to be long, of course, with that long leg of Oliveris, and it will not be returnable. So it'll be 1st and 10 on the 20-yard line for Mira Monte. I'd like to thank Audiovisual Plus, Premier Equipment Rentals, Crab Radio, Fox Sports Radio, and KGET for being involved with us and believing in us to be a part of us every Friday night here on Bright House Networks.
Well, Independence blew a good chance to score at the end of the first half. They fumbled the ball. De Leon jumped on top of it, but time was already going to run out on the Falcons' chances of putting any points up on the board as they were down deep into Miramonte territory. But now you see Miramonte's offense coming out. Tie game here. First play of scrimmage from the second half.
That's the voice of Matt Alvarez. We are absolutely thrilled to have him with us this year on high school football. Tim Harris trying to find some kind of room up there, but nothing doing. The middle was clogged up with everybody, Lions and Falcons. And I want to remind all of our viewers about this Griffin Award that's going on here tonight, Matt. These young schools taking part in their own rivalry and an award.
Well, both schools are only in their second year of varsity competition, and last year the two teams played each other twice. They went 1-1. Miramonte won the first game. Independence won the second game. So they're 1-1 overall records against each other, but the Griffin Cup remains in possession of Independence High School as of right now.
Tim Harris runs into trouble. He could not get off the line of scrimmage, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 8. So a 3rd and 8. Nice pursuit by the Falcons.
Well, you see that Independence is not giving in to Tim Harris as easily as they did in the first half. In the first drive that Miramonte had in the first half, Tim Harris was able to literally run right through the Independence defense, but they've held par so far as it's going to be 3rd and 8 here deep inside Miramonte territory.
Nice tackle by Kenneth Wiley out there to drag down Harris. As Matt said, 3rd and 8 just underway here in the second half. They go down the sidelines. He floats it out there. Could be caught, and it is. That was a perfectly thrown football from Rios to Guyton. Wobbled a little bit. I shouldn't say perfect as far as the spiral was concerned, but just right on the money. Perfectly thrown as far as timing.
Well, the timing was there, and as you've seen, when Paul Rios gets time, he's able to fire those to the outside shoulder to where only Guyton can catch him. Great pass by Rios. Great first down pickup by the Lions of Miramonte now on Independence's side of the field.
1st and 10, 47-yard line of Independence. And now they go to Harris. Harris looking for some room. Harris had a nice first half. A long run for touchdown and a couple other nice long runs.
Yeah, they go right back to their bread and butter. It's Tim Harris up the right side. As you see here on our Audiovisual Plus instant replay, Harris has a good lead blocker in front of him, Antonio Parra, and then Harris just drives the pile a little, able to get 7 yards on the play, bringing up a 2nd and 3 for Miramonte.
See Clay Kerner down there walking by, big longtime supporter of all local sports. His son is one of the athletic trainers down there for Miramonte. Harris looks to get outside, picks up the first down for sure. So this offensive line now for the Lions really getting off on the snap and making things happen, Matt. They are creating this space for Harris to work in.
Well, it's a complete 180 from the beginning of the half. You know, they were able to contain Harris not 2 minutes ago, Vance, but it seems to be flowing the other way. He's got those big blockers in front of him. Justin Smith, like we mentioned, 6'3", 307-pound senior, Vance. Think he's ready to play at the next level?
Yeah, I think so.
Any D1 college will come calling at a size like that.
Everybody back there to block for Harris. Harris stalls and then looks up, tries to get a yard or two on a 1st and 10. 22-22 is the score. A nice football game, and I think when this score gets read to the other teams around the county tonight, people are going to go, ooh.
Well, you knew this game was going to be close as we came into it, as we looked to it during the week, and you see here Tim Harris on the AV Plus instant replay. And that was Rufus Brown that was on the ground there for Independence, clogging up the running lane, not allowing Harris to get more than a yard. As you see Harris rumbling up the middle again for another short gain. It's going to bring up about a 3rd and 5 here for Miramonte from the 27-yard line of Independence.
It's been a long day for our Bright House production crew. They get out here early in the day and get these scissor lifts set up and get all the cables and the wires and everything set up. Bernie Johnson, the director tonight, Just a great, great job. Look at this great picture that you're seeing. And that is, I think it's Kevin down there on that north scissor lift. Hi, Kevin. And we've got Mark over here in this scissor lift. We've got Carlos down on the field. Tony is the fan cam or the cheerleader cam. She's loving it. Hey, there's Kevin up on one of the scissor lifts. Hi, Kevin. Kevin thrilled that all these local high school musicians just won in the prestigious national high school marching competition. 4th and 3. Tim Harris breaks out, looks for the end zone, and it's touchdown Miramonte.
Well, right back to their bread and butter, Vance. Tim Harris up the middle, and then he cuts it to the outside when he sees the defense closing in, and Tim Harris unstoppable right now for Miramonte as they take a 6-point lead.
Wow, on a 4th and 3. And that's just a great piece of running right there. And I think after tonight, he may be right up there in number 2 behind Sykes.
Well, Tim Harris, little shades of Jalen Sykes, running it for a touchdown on a 4th down like we saw Sykes do twice last week.
The snap, the hold, the kick, it's up and it's right through the middle. So look at this, everybody. 29-22. Miramonte throws the next punch in this middleweight bout. That looked really, really good. Nice football field they have out here. Beautiful lights, great stands, visiting stands, away stands. Look back on this baseball field, softball field. What a nice looking school as we see Harris just run right down the right side, and no chance for the Falcons to stop him. He is in.
Well, let's see how Independence responds, as it's going to be their first possession of the second half. You know, they've been apt to throw the ball, but they do have a great quarterback in Jose De Leon. They've mostly stuck to the ground game tonight with Drew Schlabel and Lewis Bennett. So we'll see what route they take, and we'll see what route Miramonte takes on this kickoff here, Vance. As you can remember, they had 2 kickoffs that went out of bounds in the first half, and then their third kickoff was ran back a long way by Jermaine Irvin, the sophomore. So we'll see which route they go on this kickoff. As Eddie Chavez, the 5'9", 165-pound senior, handling the kickoff duties, but we've also seen Elvis Sanchez in there kicking, as you see Tony Varela and Mike Gutierrez right next to him. My holder for 3 years at Foothill.
Look at Mike.
Mike, 24 years of age.
Well, they go for a high pooch, and it's going to be fair caught, and a lot of contact down there for a fair catch.
That's right, Vance. That looks, you know, that if you wanted to be a Stifler official, you could have called that a 15-yard penalty, but you see on our replay.
Goodness gracious.
That's Ricky Jimenez down there trying to bring Nacho Carrillo to the ground.
By the way, show me who you have for number 5 for Miramonte.
That's Anthony Rios.
Right, Anthony Rios, by the way. Anthony Rios had a chance to talk to his Aunt Gina at halftime, longtime friend of mine. She goes, "What are you doing here?" And I said, "I'm calling this game. What are you doing here?" And then a big camera around your neck. So I'm here to take pictures of my nephew, Anthony Rios. And I said, "Well, we've called his name already. He's a nice, nice athlete." 1st and 10 for Independence on their own 36-yard line as they try to get down the football field to the end zone again. Nice football game, 29-22. If my excellent math serves me correctly, that's 51 points already scored.
Well, you see Independence running this pistol formation with De Leon in the backfield and Bennett lined up behind him. They've been in that since the first quarter, and there you see Bennett.
Louis Bennett. I left my linebackers in San Francisco.
You and I know that one. There you go, Vance. One of the few times that I know what you're talking about in terms of music up
What
here.
do you say? What are you making reference to age? What are you talking about? 1st and 10. They flick it out to the left side here. A nice catch out there by Hodges. Oh, some fancy footwork. It's still on his feet. Nice move by Hodges. He gets brought down the 30-yard line. Not only is he quick and crafty, but boy, he's tough too. That's a nice reception and nice yards after the carry. Captain, you get a chance to see that?
I did, Vance, and what a little play right there. You just swing it out there to Hodges, and he picks up about 13, 14 yards for you. You know, and one of the things we're looking at, guys, is another shootout like we had on Saturday, because right now neither defense has figured out what to do to stop either side.
A long run after the catch there. Now this time they go out to the right side, and this is going to be Irvin. Irvin's already had a long touchdown catch and run. So they go back to the air again. Here's Irvin out to the right side. Ooh, and this could have gone all the way too. Nice touchdown saving tackle by Guyton.
Yeah, Guyton's been all over the field tonight for Mira Monte.
2nd and 5. They're right above us and right below us. Oh, big hit at the line of scrimmage. They give the ball to Bennett, and Bennett is hammered. Oh, and he's just pops right back up, but don't kid yourself. He was hit awfully hard.
Yeah, there have been a lot of big hits tonight, Vance.
Eduardo Ramos.
Yeah, Ramos delivering the punishment on Bennett there. Nonetheless, it's going to be a big 3rd down here for both the offense and the defense.
3rd and 5. They go right up the middle to Bennett. And Bennett gets it to the 16-yard line. Brian, I saw you had a nice chat down there with Tyler. What's the word, my man?
You know, Vance, we were just talking football. I said, you know, he's analyzing the game. He could be doing my job. He was talking about how they stack up. They get in that 3-back formation. They hit hard off that right tackle, and the defense didn't hold it up, and they've been struggling on that. They did it to him last year the same way. And then basically he said, you know, whatever team has the ball last is probably going to win.
So Tyler Shahable giving the word to Brian Adams over there, and he's loving the evening. Did you get a sense that he could feel the love from everyone here tonight, this one night that he's allowed to come out here?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You know, he's feeling that comfort and love from the fans, and not just from the Falcon fans, but also from other people from Mira Monte coming up. So he's just getting a lot of love and admiration and comforting tonight.
Bennett going to be brought down about the 20-yard line on a 2nd and 4. Matt, you have something to share about this respect shown for Tyler as well from the Mira Monte side.
Well, Mira Monte, I talked to their vice principal. I know him as Coach Diaz. He was a coach at Foothill when I was there. He told me that Mira Monte has the number 8 on the back of their helmets, you know, out of respect for Tyler Shahable, and I think that's just a good sign of, you know, just how close-knit this community is. You know, you could be going to different high schools, you could be the biggest rivals, but when you have that mutual respect for each other, it's you know, it shows a great thing.
Oh, a 3rd and 8, and it should have been caught out there. That was Irvin that should have pulled that one in, and that would have been a 1st down, maybe a touchdown. Oh, boy. I think everybody on the independent side is thinking, doggone it.
Well, it's a blown opportunity there, as you see Irvin dropping that ball. You know, that's the 2nd or 3rd pass that he's dropped tonight, and that's big because that could have been a 1st down, and instead you're going to settle for a field goal opportunity here.
And, man, he is a sure-handed receiver, running back as well. So here comes the snap, the hold, the kick. It's up, and it is good. So it'll make it 29-25. So neither one of these teams get down to this area without something. They either get a touchdown or a field goal. But they are very good at getting into the getting on the scoreboard one way or the other. You're watching Bright House Network's high school football game of the week as we watch this field goal attempt. Nice form, Matt, or no?
Oh, that's pretty good form by Olivares. You know what? Form doesn't really – it goes through the uprights. You're golden. But, yeah, Olivares has a leg that can compare with, you know, Haidari from Stockdale. As you've seen, there haven't been too many kickoffs that haven't gone in the end zone this year for Olivares. Of course, Haidari, the USC commit, every kickoff goes in the end zone. So Haidari might have a little bit of competition. As you see,
look at these.
Bright House
We've got
footballs.
the Bright House footballs going into the stands. Not a bad gun on her. She threw that one about 8 feet. Well, they're Nerf footballs. I mean, you know.
That's further than I can throw, Vance. I'll tell you that. That's why I stuck to kicking the ball.
4.5 left in this 3rd quarter. Bright House Nerf footballs. I've got to get one of those for Trinidad and Noah. If I don't get a couple of those, I'm in big trouble. Here comes the long boot, and will it be up and will it be through? No, it'll be short, but it'll be 1st and 10 for the Mira Monte Lions. Let's go down to our captain on the field, Brian. We're in week 4 now. As we start into next week, it'll be league. Do you get the sense that the teams that we've seen this far will be ready in week 5 next week? Any teams that you've seen that maybe, they might not be there yet?
You know, the teams we've seen so far, Vance, I think Golden Valley is going to be a formidable foe in their league. I think Garces is really going to walk away with their league. And we haven't seen BHS, and Centennial right now is ranked very high in the state, I believe number 11. So I think that league right there is going to be solid. And I think we're looking for some good football these next 6 weeks.
The big date that everyone has marked on their calendar is October 29th.
Oh, yeah.
And is Centennial at BHS?
BHS is at Centennial.
So BHS is at Centennial. Brian's Drillers will be going over to Centennial for the Golden Hawks. That'd be one of those games that family and friends from other schools will sneak away from their schools and go watch that game. People are going to go over to watch that game. That's going to be Kessler versus Burrell, Drillers versus Golden Hawks, Nixon versus Gola. What a matchup, and we'll be there. The pitch out to the right side. Harris has some room. Can he get outside? Harris cuts back upfield, gets knocked out of bounds after a first down at about the 32-yard line.
Now they go right back to the bread and butter. Tim Harris able to pick up some big yards. Looks like he's going to go for a first down. You see him cut to the outside. He's really good at doing that, Vance, and he steps out of bounds, but he's good at reading what's in front of him and then making the necessary cuts. You know, he's not too much of a put your head down and, kind of a bulldozing running back, but he's got the breakaway speed, so anytime he sees the opportunity for some open space, he takes it, and most of the time he's gone.
They go to Harris, looking to get outside. Can he get outside? Harris cuts back and goes right into a defender. Nice job by that Independence defender not to give up. He just stayed after him, and that is going to be number 20. Was that? No, that was number 21. That was Irvin that just stuck with it out there. As you see, Harris turns right back around, right into the defender.
Well, Harris had Guyton out there blocking for him. Unfortunately, Guyton can only take on one guy at a time, but nonetheless, Harris did pick up 4 yards on the play, so it's going to be 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6. They go to the air. They go down the right side again to Guyton. Guyton ran out of real estate. That ball was out of bounds. Brings up 3rd and 6. So DeLeon, sorry about that, Rios goes to his main target out there. This one kind of gets away from him and no more space.
Yeah, Rios has usually been doing a pretty good job of getting the ball in the air, finding his receiver Guyton out there, but not that time. And that brings up a passing situation here with 3rd and 6, although we've seen them run it on 3rd and 4th down, so we'll see what happens.
Exactly. They do it again. Flag on the play. And I think there was some movement in that backfield before the snap was, before the football was snapped. Looked like somebody might have been moving, but you never know. We'll see.
Well, if that is the case, it looks like it'd be an illegal motion, more than likely if there was movement in the backfield, and that's exactly what it is. So
all right.
It's going to move Miramonte back 5 yards, but
they get another shot at it.
They do get another shot at it, but this game has been plagued by penalties, Vance, since the second quarter, since the beginning of the second quarter. Yeah, each team has taken their turn marching backwards on the field.
3rd and 11 for the Miramonte Lions, dressed in the USC Trojan gold. Right now, left in the 3rd quarter, BHS up 55-0 over Golden Valley. Look at this pass play. Could be another beauty. Oh! Just out of the reach of Guyton, and that was just off his fingertips out there, so they continue to go for that one. Take another look at it, and their timing couldn't be any better. This is just a beautiful pass, and I think
it looked like Guyton got a little bit of case of the alligator arms there, but he had the ball in his hands. If if you're gonna have the ball in your possession, you might as well come down with it. Instead, it's gonna force a punt here for Miramonte.
2:49 left in the 3rd quarter. Perfect snap and a wobbly, low punt, but it takes a really nice bounce for Miramonte, and it'll be down at about the 30-yard line. Well, Brian, early word in the 3rd quarter, BHS 55-0 over Golden Valley. Looks like that machine is rolling.
Defense, Vance, and he's running the ball right now. It's going to be a hard team to stop in these next 6 weeks.
A lot of talk about Centennial
A lot of talk about Garces, but at the end of the day, in this valley, in this area, there is no getting around the Big Blue.
Well, Zach Ewing making good on his prediction, at least from the Bakersfield side of things. He predicted that BHS would score 55 points. I don't know if he would have imagined that would have happened, in the third quarter, but nonetheless, there's still a lot of time left to be played in that game, as in this game.
What a nice pass play to start this drive off. It's about a 9-yard bullet from DeLeon, and he connects out there to Shahable. Sorry, not Shahable. Saunders.
Kenny Ray Saunders. We haven't seen a lot of action from him lately, but able to pick up a first down.
Now this time it goes out to Irvin. Flag on the play. Irvin gets brought down. This is a flag out in the middle of the football field.
Well, again, this game has been plagued by penalties since the second quarter. Like I mentioned earlier, we'll see which direction they'll march the ball off this way as the breeze begins to pick up here.
Well, now it's coming from the northwest. These flags have changed directions completely. Now it's coming right at Matt and I. That's enough to shake Matt up. He might want to go down and call the rest of this game on the grass.
Well, Vance, I'll tell you this. We keep having all these flags. These officials are going to be like major league pitchers. They're going to be coming around with ice on their elbows and everything else.
Man, oh, man. There's a nice shot of Tyler right there. He was talking to Brian a little earlier, and he was X of the nose with Brian.
Well, that's going to negate a good first down play, and that's going to move him way back. Vance, I wonder what the call was on that, as it's now 2nd and 25. Wow.
Well, it probably was some type of a holding right in the middle of the football field. Never saw the signal.
I saw the referee give the loss of down signal. Unfortunately, his back is towards us as he's motioning towards the press box.
Well, it's a quarterback keeper. Not a bad play, but I tucked that ball in because he runs into a wall of USC Trojans. You can't call the game without looking at that and just thinking that it's USC.
And Washington State.
Right. It looks like the Trojans and the Cougars.
Well, Independence playing a lot better than the Cougars would in a normal game against USC tonight, as they're only down by 4. And, you would think that Independence would have some momentum on their side after kicking a field goal, getting some points up on the board in their last possession, and then holding Miramonte to a 3 and out.
But now look, 3rd and 17. DeLeon floats one out there, and it is, well, he has a really nice arm. Really nice arm. He threw that another 50-yarder.
He does, but he's thrown into double coverage there. As you see here on our Audiovisual Plus instant replay, he has plenty of time, as he's had all night, and chucks it out there to the right side. But, Saunders was under pretty good coverage there.
So you think about Jose DeLeon as a sophomore now. He's a sophomore for these Falcons. And on a 4th and 17, they're going to use this wind, punt into it, and it'll bounce at the 30, and it'll go all the way down to the 12-yard line. So a really nice punt by Independence, and it gets down to the 10-yard line. Let's go down to Brian Adams. Brian, I want to ask you a question about this running back, Tim Harris, for Miramonte as a junior. Wow, what a future he has in front of him.
Well, Vance, like Matt said in the opening, he's a 1,000-yard rusher from last year. He's obviously going to surpass that. But I like, though, is he's tough. He looks like he's not a big kid, but he runs in between the tackles. He doesn't give up easy. He's hard to tackle, bring down. A lot of times you see his 3 and 4 defenders bringing him down. So I just think he's doing a great job of playing the position, and he gives you both that confidence as a coach. He's not going to put the ball on the ground, and he has a big play capability.
Thank you, Captain. They might go right to him right now. And they do. Harris, just what Brian was talking about. Tough, runs where he needs to run, stays where he needs to stay. If he can't get outside, he doesn't go outside. If he needs to stay inside, he stays inside, but still picks up 5 yards on that carry, Matt.
And you know what, Vance? The road seemingly gets easier from here on out for Miramonte. They have a bye next week, and then they go to Ridgeview. That's going to be a very tough game. But then they go into SYL play, and they're going to play Ridgeview, and then they'll play an out-of-league game against Foothill. Then they have Golden Valley, good defense, but West and South, I mean, you think these are games that Harris could potentially, up his numbers.
Penalty flag on this play. As Brian mentioned, that came from the main man right there, so there was no getting around that one. He threw that flag the second that ball was snapped. Here's the call.
Well, it's going to be an illegal motion against Monte one more time, so.
And he's telling him.
Yeah, he's instructing
trying to give him the hint. Fellas, I'm going to call it. This is what you're doing. I always enjoy when I was coaching basketball to have these referees, these officials that would, spend time with the players during the free throw when the ball's dead and they're changing possession. They get a chance to tell these young guys, this is what I'm calling, and I'm going to keep calling it. You're good enough. Quit doing it.
Right, and I think that's how referees should be at the high school level. They should be teaching as well as enforcing, because obviously this is that's the best way to learn, is go right to the source.
Rios keeps it. Oh, he saw something he liked there, and from the looks of it, that could have been a big, big gain. He didn't think twice about it. He audibled, called it off, and called himself. And Rios punches it through there. Got about 4 yards. Rios, a junior quarterback, and that's going to do it for the end of the third quarter. 29-25. Miramonte up on the road. The Griffin Cup on the line. We'll be back with an exciting fourth quarter.
Bakersfield's only sports station that's all sports, all day, every day. Fox Sports Radio 970. With Dan Patrick in the morning and Jim Rome 9 to noon. Home for the world champion Los Angeles Lakers and NASCAR. And now the home for the Bakersfield Condors. No swap shop, no tradio, no cheap coupons. Sports. It's all we do. Fox Sports Radio 970.
Bright House Networks Bakersfield On Demand, Digital Channel 300, your source for exclusive local programming you can't get anywhere else. New programs are added every week, including the most local sports. And On a Tankful, highlights of events in and around Kern County. You On Demand, where you'll never know what you'll see, and so much more. It's all here on your schedule anytime on Bright House Networks Bakersfield Digital Channel 300. Tune in and see what's next.
That's easy for you to say, Bernie. As we start the fourth quarter, our director, Bernie Johnson, giving us our cue. 4-point lead for the visiting Miramonte Lions as they lead 29-25. I'm Vance Palm, joined by Matt Alvarez up on top of the scissor lifts, and our captain, Brian Adams, down on the grass. 3rd and 11. Big play for the Independence defense right here. Tim Harris gets swallowed up. Hey, that's a nice play for your in that Independence crowd. That means Miramonte is going to have to punt it up. I want to remind everybody that these games that we show here on Friday nights, it's on Channel 21, of course, as an encore presentation at 10:30. But, of course, you can catch it Bakersfield On Demand, Channel 300, Digital Channel 300, forever. Maybe not forever, for a long, long time, as well as all the other great programming, as you just saw in that spot as we came back in. On a tank full. Oh, it just never stops. Oh, high snap. Almost blocked, and I think it does get nicked. But it still got off a very good punt. And it's taken at the 21-yard line by Irvin. Big blocks going on out there. Irvin picks up a lot of grass. Irvin looking for some room. Cuts back upfield, and oh, there was some big, big hits out in the middle of the football field. And there's a Miramonte Lion still down right on top of the letter I. I don't know if you'll see it in your screen here, but there was some serious, serious contact.
Well, you
and
see
Irvin with all this room and still looking for more, and finally gets pushed out of bounds. But wow, what a hit.
We can't tell who's down there in the middle of the field, but the athletic trainer down there from Miramonte, as is head coach Tony Varela now coming in on the scene. But a good return by Irvin. You see he's moving his arm. That's a good sign. And boy, like you said, Vance, there were some hard hits on that return. 11:09 left to go here in the fourth quarter. And, Miramonte clinging to this 4-point lead.
Well, he's hopping up, and it's Ricky Jimenez. Ricky Jimenez was leveled out there. Once again, before we get going in this fourth quarter, we want to thank Premier Equipment Rentals for these great scissor lifts. Of course, Audio Visual Plus for our instant replays, and they get a lot of recognition for our replays. And then how about our 3 media sponsors, Crab Radio and Fox Sports Radio 970, and of course, KGET Friday Football Extra with Todd Strain. You can watch Todd Strain's Friday Football Extra on Digital Channel 300, Bakersfield On Demand. Thank you to our great family of sponsors that help us put these on the air and let you enjoy it. So great field position for Independence as Jose De Leon. Fumble! Oh, boy.
Well, yet another bad exchange in between the center and the quarterback, De Leon. Miramonte hops on that one. And it was a bad snap.
First and 10. A wild pitch out to Harris. Now Harris looking for some room, and he's just in trouble now.
Well, he cut back, and if he would have stayed with his original line, he could have picked up a few yards, but instead he lost a couple yards.
Oh, boy.
So you see there, man, that pitch was way high, but Harris did a good job of just bringing it down, but then he was met hard by the big defenseman, Dale Pearson.
2nd and 15, 10.5 left here in the fourth quarter. And we get a penalty flag before the play even goes, so obviously that's going to be too much time on Miramonte. So took a long time to get that play called.
You might see some illegal substitution. You see here what the referee says. Dead ball. That is illegal substitution.
Okay. Oh, it was on Independence.
Yep, and it's on Independence. So that's
my fault. Bad call.
So Tim Harris's backwards run is all for none, as Miramonte has it back at a 2nd and 9. Almost hit the 10-minute mark of this fourth quarter here in about 15 seconds.
Hand off to the left side. On a 2nd and 9, 29-25. A lot of scoring in this football game. It's been fun to watch.
You see our AV Plus instant replay. Harris trying to go up the middle. But there's Dale Pearson again, whose aunt works for Bright House.
Oh, some Bright House familial ties.
Absolutely.
We're under 10 minutes left in this fourth quarter. 3rd and 8, so pivotal play right here in this football game. 9.5 left. Miramonte, a broken play all the way. And it looked like Harris either just took off too far away, and I don't know if Rios just didn't want to risk that pitch, but he was drugged down from behind. What do you think, Matt?
That was a broken play, but, Harris never looked for the ball. De Leon was wanting to, check that, Rios wanted to give him the ball, but Hodges was there, able to break up that play before it even manifested into anything. So here they go again. Independence able to hold Miramonte to force him into a punt situation.
Gets off a pretty good punt. Let's see what happens. It takes a sideways bounce, and it'll be brought down at about the 37, 38-yard line. Let's go back down to our captain, Brian Adams. Well, Brian, right about now, Independence Falcons need to put together a nice, confident drive to get in the end zone. They can't go 3 and out here.
Well, Vance, the thing they have to do is get some kind of rhythm to their offense. It's either been incomplete passes trying to throw the ball way downfield, as Matt alluded to earlier, or there's been no run game for them to establish any kind of authority at the line. So, right now they're just looking for some kind of big play, and that's what they think they've been counting on so far tonight, and they have to make one here because I just haven't seen them put anything together.
De Leon across the middle, and he finds Saunders. Saunders brought down right at the 50-yard line, right on top of the maroon eye. So that'll be a nice way to get it going right there, Brian. Exactly what you talked about. 1st and 10, Falcons.
Vance, that was one of the shorter pass routes. They didn't try to go way downfield. And Matt said earlier in the telecast that they've had some opportunity where balls have been dropped on those short routes, but they've been really successful on those underneath intermediate routes like that.
Right at the 50-yard line. 1st and 10. De Leon. Another one. Oh, this one intended for Saunders. He lost his footing and it was like he was just going down on his knees as the ball was floating over his hands.
You see on our AV Plus instant replay, we've been showing the flags, flying, and that's right out of the hands of the receiver, Saunders. We've been showing the flags flying. The breeze is starting to pick up here, so we'll see how that's going to affect the air attack of Independence.
You're right. It's coming directly from the north now. It's coming straight from the north. DeLeon flicks it out to the left side. Breaks the tackle. This is Irvin. We all know about his speed already.
Big 2nd and 10 pass for Independence, and they're able to pick up the first down to Irvin as he evaded that first tackle, and then he picked up a lot of yards after the fact. But you see DeLeon fires, and he missed it, and Felipe Loera whiffed on the tackle, and that gives Independence a first down.
Shalhobble breaks out to the left, cuts up, delivers a big blow, and he does not get brought down. He just gets nudged to the outside.
Well, that was a big blow, lowering the shoulder on Nico Medina. That's Drew Shalhobble. You see him right here at the end of the play, just lowering the shoulders. He heads towards the sideline. Right here, boom! And the camera's flashing, and that's going to be a good picture in tomorrow's Californian.
Oh, what a huge hit on DeLeon. The quarterback decides to keep it. He pops up like it was nothing. And the sophomore quarterback says, here I come. And he gets hit hard.
He picked up some good yardage, though. Vance picked up 7 yards on the play, so it's going to be 2nd and 3 from the 9.
7:40 left here in the fourth quarter. DeLeon fires across the middle, and it is caught, and it is touchdown!
And now we've got some extracurricular activities after the fact, Vance, as a flag flew in late. But the official on the far side goal line was the one who called it. He said touchdown. So Independence is going to take the lead tentatively, as we'll see what head referee Bill Solon has to say about that. It's going to be the touchdown's going to be good, but then we have a dead ball personal foul against Miramonte. Their 2nd personal foul after touchdowns tonight, as you see DeLeon finding his man over the middle, and that's Hodges. And let's see if the ball crosses the plane. Yes, it does right there.
Sure does.
Great eyes by the side judge. And I think it was Miramonte's reluctance to let go of Hodges is what caused the penalty.
Look at this, 31-29, and a rocket. Oh, and it's wide right. Oh my gosh.
That's unfortunate for Independence, because now a field goal will put Miramonte ahead, as you see here. Yep. That was Olivares not coming off of his plant foot.
Man.
Now you finally get the opportunity to coach a bit, Vance.
Let's see it again. Bernie, if you can show it to us one more time, if you have it. For those of you that know Matt's a kicker, we're enjoying it this year. We get more insight to the kicking life. What do you have for us?
Yeah, if we could roll it as slow as possible, you can see Olivares coming in to make the kick. You'll see where he kicks it from, he never leaves his plant foot. His plant foot stays on the ground right where his right foot is his plant foot, because he's a left-footed kicker. His right foot never left the ground, so that's why he pulled it to the right. That's why Independence is only up by 2 points here, 31-29. It's anybody's ball game, Vance. It's up in the air right now, but they're going to enforce the penalty right now for the unsportsmanlike conduct, or for the personal foul after the play, so it's going to move the ball up to the 45-yard line of Miramonte.
You young kickers out there that are watching Bright House Networks this season, what a treat you're in for all year. You're going to get some free kicking lessons, education on the kicking game from one of the best ever to come out of Kern County, Matt Alvarez. We have him up here with us. Spent 4 years at the University of Arizona. Go Cats. Who do they have tomorrow?
They're off. They have a bye.
Oh, they have a bye.
They have a bye. We're going to be they're going to be having a watching party watching Stanford and Oregon.
Oh!
That's going to be the Pac-10 premier game, and then they are home against Oregon State on October 9th.
Pac-10 this year.
Aren't
making some big noise. I know that makes both you and Brian awfully happy. And this ought to go through the upright, and it does easily. And it bounces off the Cartoon Network stand for homecoming. 7.5 left here. 31-29 Independence. 60 total points scored so far. And it's been their first homecoming ever. A lot of excitement down on the field, up in the stands, around the track. I'm Vance Palm, joined by Matt Alvarez and Brian Adams. 1st and 10 Miramonte. Now it's their turn to see if they can put some points on the board. They trail by 2. And here comes Rios. Rios hands the ball to Harris, and Harris is pummeled, and he is smacked and put down hard by Dale Pearson. Hello, Bright House family.
Where's Pearson come from? I mean, he's had a coming out party in the second half. If you see, they just give the ball to Harris and expect him to go right at the middle. Boom! Pearson, form tackle right there. You see he's one of the team captains of Independence, and he's showing why he is very deserving of that captaincy here in the second half.
Makes it 2nd and 13. Rios on a play action. Great coverage out there. Both defensive backs just all over their receivers. So a great job out there by Hodges and Irvin.
Well, now what they're doing is, as you've seen, that Miramonte hasn't been able to get Harris out in the open field. They're starting to go to their pass game, and I think they're being forced to go to their pass game, and now that's their only option right now because Harris hasn't done much here in the late stages of the third quarter.
Wow, Captain, that's a quick 3rd and 13. Man, they're already a 3rd down.
You know, Vance, and that's when defenses win, when they get you in that distance.
They're going to go to the air. They throw it out there. Oh, and he had the man, and that would have been very close to a 1st down. Trayvon Trimble, and had the big fella pulled that down, that would have been awfully close to a 1st.
Well, Trimble, as you remember, in the first half, had a big reception for a 1st down and carried about 3 or 4 guys. But Trimble just off his fingertips, and it's going to force Miramonte into another punting situation here.
Man, even in slow motion, that ball was moving fast in our in audiovisual instant plus replay. 4th and 13, and the return men are at their 50, and they're going to get a chance to take this one. And it's taken at the 50, and it's brought down at about the 50. So really a lot of action for no yardage for Preston Hodges, but inside Lions territory, Independence will have it on the 49-yard line.
You see the knuckleball punt brought down by Hodges. You know, those are some of the hardest punts to field, Vance, are the knuckleball punts, because you never know which way they're going to go. That's why they call them knuckleball. But Hodges did well to just corral that in and keep the Independence possession on the Miramonte side of the field.
1st and 10. Miramonte crowd getting into it. I can hear them right below me. They love this football game. Shellhobble takes it, and he's upended at about the 45-yard line. It should be about a 2nd and 5 right around there.
Well, Edgar Alejandre coming in. 5'5" Edgar Alejandre making the tackle on Drew Shellhobble. As you see, Shellhobble cuts to the outside and gets a good block and breaks a tackle, but then whoop, up and over. And that's the only way that 5'5" Edgar Alejandre is going to take down Shellhobble.
Nice play out to Shellhobble. Oh, puts a nice move on. He's going to pick up some more yardage, and he gets a nice 1st down, still on his feet, brought down. Hey, that's an 18-yard gain. 1st and 10, Independence.
Oh, he had good downfield blocking by Khalil Ely, the sophomore playing wide receiver tonight. As you see here, Shellhobble making the good cut to the outside, and then he has Ely in front of him, putting the blocks on the defender right there. As you see, Saunders also down there. So this is a big series for Miramonte now. They haven't been able to muster any sort of offense since the early portion of the third quarter. They need a defensive stop here.
They trail by 2. 1st and 10 for the Falcons. DeLeon taking a long time to get this play off. Oh, I shouldn't have said it, but I had to because it was getting to be a little bit too long. Let's break away from football for a moment. Brian, will our man Tiger Woods take care of business over there in North Wales?
Vance, I didn't get, I usually watch the Ryder Cup and stuff, but I've been doing work and taking care of some family, but let me know, give us the Ryder Cup update, Vance.
Well, they started off sluggish in the slosh, but they've come through and made it a respectable first day, and tomorrow they're going to have to start early to get some of the end of the first round in. As we see DeLeon take a look, has a man open. No, it's intercepted. His intended receiver slipped, And the ball ends up in Miramonte's hand. It should be a flag afterwards, and it is. An ill-advised throwdown at the end of the play. And that was really not smart at all on the hands of Rufus Brown. But Nico Medina on the fortunate end of the intended receiver slipping down. And here comes Nico, and watch at the end of the play, you'll see Rufus Brown throw him down to the ground.
Oh, that's that's a frustration. That's a little bit of frustration coming out for Independence. You know, they know they have Miramonte where they want him. They know that they're walking down the field, setting up for another score. And then, like you said, the ill-advised pass, Medina all over it. And that gives Miramonte new life here, especially with that 15-yard penalty coming after the play. That's going to put him on the 45-yard line, Vance, with 5.5 left. Ooh, we're setting up for another good one.
Oh, my goodness. Well, the intended receiver out, did you mention it was Oliveras, and he had slipped. So I don't know if you mentioned that, but he slipped, and so it wasn't a horrible pass, just the intended receiver goes down. And
well, Vance, I was watching, not to cut you off, I was watching Coach McEwen talk to the quarterback. It wasn't supposed to go over there. When you see a quarterback wait and try to come back to the backside of the field deep, that's way too long. He was supposed to go down to the far corner on the Independent sideline.
Thank you, Brian. Harris almost runs over the volunteer downs marker.
The chain gang. As you see out there, Harris with a lot of space, and then he's ridden out of bounds. A good job by Independence to limit his game, but nonetheless, it is a first down as you see Tyler looking on, hoping his Falcons can pull this one off.
2nd and 1 from the 45. Neither team has used a timeout in the second half. Harris just trying to get to the first down marker, and he does. First down, Miramonte. Now he's running over the Water Girls. If you're a volunteer on that side of the football field, you need to be ready when Tim Harris carries the football. Here he comes again.
Well, he's getting good blocks, and you know what? That looked like maybe a bit of a hold there on Hodges. But he's getting good blocks, and he's, you know, if you're going to give him the outside, Harris is going to take it all day because he has the speed to make it happen. And that little lady is fortunate to get out of the way of Tim Harris.
Captain, would you dare go to the air on a 1st and 10?
Man, you got to stay with what you've been doing well. Just like last Saturday. If
All
you're
right.
running the ball well, stay with the run.
Paul Rios, oh man, he tried to go up the middle. He took a hard hit. Still on his feet, but they called dead ball. Woo. Well, you know, I'd like to see Rios get outside on his own, you know. I mean, he goes up the middle a lot. It'd be nice to see him take that ball to the outside.
Well, you see Rios, just a simple quarterback sneak, and they've ran that. By my count, that was their 3rd time running that tonight. Maybe their 3rd or 4th, but the first 2 times.
At least.
The first 2 times they have. It paid big dividends for him because they picked up first downs. They picked up big yardage.
They gave him 1. They pitch out to Harris. And what do you have, Matt?
I don't like that pitch, Vance. That's, you know, they really need to work on that in practice. They need to shallow that up because when Paul Rios gives Harris the ball, I mean, it's coming in there like a fastball. If you can see here on the replay, that ball is just chucked right at Tim Harris, and he almost bobbled it, didn't really have time to catch his feet, and that's why it was a loss of a couple yards on the play. It's going to bring up a big, huge 3rd down and 10 here for Miramonte.
All right, Coach Adams, 3rd and 10.
Well, Vance, they're going to have to do some kind of pass play more than likely because there's just a lot of yards to get against the defense on the run.
They do not. They go to Harris. Harris tries to cut up the middle, gets to the 35-yard line. They trail by 2. It would be about a 50-yarder.
Well, the wind has died down.
And now look, the flags aren't moving. It's absolutely dead. We may see our first time out here. They can't afford to lose 5 yards. They better hurry. Well, Rios runs in the play himself.
Yeah, Tony Varela giving him the play call, and they're going to have to hurry to get this play off.
That wind was blowing for 30 minutes. Now it just stops.
They're going to try to get him to jump. Nope.
They go to Harris again. They're all over him. No way. Big stop, Independence. Wow. Well, they didn't mix it up at all. It was Harris left, Harris right, one time up the middle with Rios, and Independence really didn't have to guess too much on that series.
You see Harris.
Ooh.
Nothing as he tries to go to the outside. A big hit put on there. The first hit was.
Well, we don't have 57.
No, we don't.
Sorry to the family of 57, not in your program. Oh.
Kind of looked like Schlabel got off the gun a bit early there.
Yeah, he sure did. But and look at this. Ends up being a nice long first down run for De Leon. He just takes it right up the middle of the football field.
You can see here on the replay, Schlabel lined up just behind De Leon. Yeah, he was leaning forward before that snap.
That's a big play.
That should have been called.
A big play. Instead of a 1st and 15 from way back there, it's 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Again.
He does it again. Now Schlabel gets the football, and he's going to look to get outside. Schlabel runs to the left side. He stays in bounds, I think. The evening started with their heroic captain, Tyler Schlabel, coming out to midfield. Brian Adams met with a couple of the students to discuss the great Superman T-shirts. And hopefully we might get some kind of a count on that. He decided to commit to match the first 500 shirts with $1 each. We'll see how that goes. And De Leon gets blocking for Schlabel, and he gets tripped up and knocked down at about the 30-yard line. So what has been a very close football game here in the late moments looks like Independence is now starting to dominate.
You know, this defensive line from Miramonte just looks a bit tired, as you see De Leon going up the middle, and he's got good blocking behind the big Drew Schlabel.
Now it's 1st and 10, so they're just chomping up yards, 10 to 15 yards at a time. They're going to keep it on the ground, and this time it goes to Lloyd Jones. So Lloyd Jones comes into the game late with a big carry.
And now you see the first timeout being taken by Miramonte as Guyton came around the weak side. You see Guyton right there, right in the middle of your screen, number 17. He comes around the weak side, and it's a great tackle on Jones to keep the yards limited at 1 on that play, so it's going to be 2nd and 9. Miramonte burning their first timeout. So Garces pulling that one out, huh? 21-17 over Stockdale. Final score.
Wow. Well, that is pretty much in line with, you know, kind of how we thought that would go. 21-17. It wasn't going to be an easy football game for either side, and 21-17 is you know, a score right in line with our thinking. Stockdale, listen, they talk about it being a regrouping year and a rebuilding year. We saw them play already this year, and that's a good football team with a fantastic coach in Coach Snow. 2nd and 9. Flag on this play, and it might be what we've seen the last few plays that this official finally said, you know what, I've just been seeing some motion back there, my man. Let's see.
He's going right to the head referee to talk about that.
Again, give the names of our Kern County officials. They've done just a fabulous job tonight.
Well, they have, and that's Bill Solon. Illegal motion. There it is, Vance. They did call it. That's Bill Solon, the head referee. The line judge, Glenn Myers. The umpire, George Keek. The head linesman, Kevin Sullivan. The back judge, David Newby. And in the box is Ton Dunham, all members of the Kern County Officials Association.
For those of you that would like to be an official, would like to be involved in officiating, something you think that you could be good at and contribute and give back to the community, get a hold of the Kern County Officials Association, give them a call, get on the website, start that process. Montel Hill trying to get off the field, and he does. Jose De Leon, the quarterback, on a 2nd and 15. Schlabel right up the middle, gets caught by 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 11, and a late flag comes in. Goodness gracious.
Oh boy. If that's a penalty, that could be the nail in the coffin if that's a penalty on Miramonte.
Well, the official probably is maybe saying just unnecessary late hit on that pile up. That's my only guess.
It's going to be a dead ball, personal foul.
And it is. Oh boy.
That might be the nail in the coffin there, Vance, with 2 timeouts left and a fresh set of downs, and that is just undisciplined football by Miramonte. You see Guyton trying to go in there for the strip. I wonder what the late penalty was.
Oh, maybe right there in the back, but oh, goodness. Well, I stand by my words. Great officiating.
There you go.
But that hurts.
Yeah.
Boy, does that hurt.
Oh, yeah, that's a fresh set of downs. 2 minutes left on the clock, deep in Miramonte territory.
coaching staff can't believe it from Mira Monte. I don't think they saw what the call really warranted, or what warranted that call. So now that clock begins to tick, and now it's going to blow below 2 minutes here in a second. Oh, boy.
Independence is going to take all the time they can get here as De Leon behind center in the pistol formation.
They hand the ball to Shahabo, and he runs right up the middle, and he gets brought down the middle of the football field. And yeah, they're going to have to call their timeouts. If they're going to do it, they've got to do it.
Now they have 2 left, and this is going to be their second. So they'll have 1 left after this play. As you see our AV Plus instant replay. Straight up the gut. Same thing as they've been doing for the majority of this drive to Drew Shalabel.
Sure been a nice football game. Hope you've enjoyed it here on Bright House Networks. This year we have opted to not mention our games the next week. We try to take a look at everything on Monday and see how things have shaken out from the week before and who's playing who, and take a good look at what's going to be best for our viewing audience. Keeping in mind that next week starts league. Some teams have some byes. We have some blockbuster football games coming up in a few weeks that we know everyone is going to want to watch and have forever on Bakersfield On Demand. So $1.50 left here. They keep it on the ground. This time it's the quarterback, De Leon, and the clock is just going to continue to race by on a 2nd and 5.
Well, it's going to be a much more manageable 3rd down situation here for Independence as after you see the fake handoff, and then De Leon runs right up the middle. It's going to be 3rd and about 2 from the, is that the 10-yard line down there?
Yep.
So if Independence can pick up the 1st down, then that will do it for all intents and purposes.
De Leon out to the left side. Looks like he might try to get on his own, and almost close to a touchdown.
Well, he's going to get the 1st down after a missed tackle out there by the Miramonte defense. And that's going to be a 1st down inside the 1-yard line. Now here's the big question. Do you sit on it or do you risk a bad exchange like they've had in the first half?
Sit on it. Well, sit on it, Potsy. I don't think it's going to happen.
Well, Sean McEwen does not feel the same way.
Hey, they're going more for the Fonzie angle. They're going to try to strip it. Well, it shows on the clock that they have on the scoreboard that Miramonte has 1 more timeout. But I can't see why they wouldn't call it if they had it.
Yeah, you see the Independence coaches on the sideline motioning.
That's going to do it.
Yep.
31-29 on behalf of our captain, Brian Adams, who was so gracious to get involved in the T-shirt purchases. Thank you, Captain. Appreciate that. And for my partner, Matt Alvarez here, we're going to say goodnight. We're going to get out of here. We'll see you next Friday night for high school football game of the week. On behalf of our director, Bernie Johnson, and all of his crew, we hope you have a great first weekend of October. Good night, and God bless.
Bakersfield On Demand on Bright House Network's Digital Channel 300 brings you a look at community events in and around Kern County. Our area has a wide variety of local events like festivals, cook-offs, galas, parades, and much more. Bright House Networks invite you to tune to Bakersfield On Demand and see a sampling of Kern County events from the comfort of your own home. Make Bright House Network's Digital Channel 300 your portal to local programming.
Bakersfield's only sports station that's all sports, all day, every day. Fox Sports Radio 970. with Dan Patrick in the morning and Jim Rome 9 to noon. Home for the world champion Los Angeles Lakers and NASCAR. And now the home for the Bakersfield Condors. No swap shop, no Tradio, no cheap coupons. Sports. It's all we do. Fox Sports Radio 970.
Got a job to do? Premier Equipment Rentals is your answer. Residential or industrial, we've got exactly what you need to get the job done. Whether it's a drill, trencher, bobcat, backhoe, or excavator, you can always count on Premier Equipment Rentals. And with our new extended hours, we're available when you need us. Check us out at 3217 Patton Way and 5001 Stein Road, or give us a call to find out more. Don't forget to ask about our weekend specials. Make your next project a breeze with Premier Equipment Rental.